Salutations! Welcome to Pod Mortem. I'm Travis Hunter, joined as always by my co-hosts, my sister, and my brother-in-law.
Hi, I'm Reneé Hunter Vasquez.
Hi, I'm John Paul Vasquez.
This week, we're broadcasting live from the annual Stab-a-thon discussing the 2011 slasher sequel, Scream 4. This film was written by Kevin Williamson and was the final film directed by the late, great Wes Craven. Scream 4 reunites our fan-favorite crew from Woodsboro as they are once again terrorized by the murderous and mysterious Ghostface. Considering this film was a direct sequel and something of a soft reboot, Scream 4 fittingly aims its satirical slashes at franchise fatigue and horror remakes, while also offering timely social commentary that is somehow even more poignant now than when it was released. This film was suggested to us by friends of the show Liz Heath, Dylan, and Jimmy Comer. We want to thank all of them for their support of the show, as well as this suggestion. So, Scream 4. What were your first impressions on the film?
Yeah.
I'm already upset.
We cannot be surprised that.
Come on.
Going into this, I knew that even doing another Scream film, it was going to be like pulling teeth with JP. So I was hopeful. I was hopeful.
It's better than the third one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better than the third one. This is comedy horror.
It's horror comedy.
I think it's comedy horror, but I will say that it is better than the third one. I did enjoy this one a little more, if not just because of me screaming at the movie. So, but it's a Scream movie. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is.
For some people, that's a good thing.
You can say it's a Scream movie, or you can say it's a Scream movie.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
Me
not
too.
The second one.
I'm of the second persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Even, okay, like I know we came down pretty hard on Scream 3.
Right.
But we were talking about it the other day, and even bad Scream to me is good.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I talked a lot of shit about Scream 3, and there are some parts of it that I'm like,
yeah, what
were we trying to do with it? Or like, what were y'all thinking with this part? But I've still watched it 800 times, and I will still watch it again. Mm-hmm. So it's like, even when it's bad, it's good. And
right.
Scream 4 is good already.
Yes.
So seeing everybody back, and I don't know, I've seen 1 through 3 so many times that I think I've only seen 4 once.
Wow.
Before the show. Twice, maybe. That's
right.
a big maybe. So I didn't remember a lot of it. And once you've seen movies over and over and over again, like I have with the first 3, it's a treat getting to see everybody back for 4. Like, that's why I'm so excited for 5, because I'm like, my friends are back together. Like, that's what it feels like.
It's like a high school reunion,
yes,
except
I want to be there.
We want to see these people. I'm totally in agreement with you. I genuinely really like this movie, and I feel like it often gets overlooked in the franchise when people talk about it.
Do you think it's because it came so much later?
I think that's probably fair. I mean, it was 11 years after Scream 3.
Yeah.
That's kind of a big gap.
And they were cranking them out.
They were.
It couldn't be because it wasn't that good of a movie.
So anyway.
Well, that's not.
Cut his mic.
Hey, what's going on?
For me, I think that this film kind of goes back to its roots.
Right.
I think it maintains a lot of what makes these films so great.
Right.
Kind of what they lost in Scream 3.
Okay.
To me.
Yeah.
Like the tone.
Yeah.
I will admit that it does lean in some moments a little too heavily on the humor for me.
Right.
I can think of one in particular that I really said, come on.
Yeah.
As I was taking my notes.
And I'm sure it's the same moment that I'm thinking of. But I think that the thing is that the nostalgia and fan service is literally for me.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Even though sometimes they do some fan service and they're like, hey guys, we just did. So.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. But it's like I can only be mad to an extent because half of me is like, yes,
thank you.
So I won't say names because I don't want to put anybody out there. Mm-hmm. But somebody described this movie and I was like, you're totally right. He said this Scream is like if the CW decided to make a horror movie. And I was like, you're absolutely right. I was like, this is not...
I'm glad you're not saying names because I got beef with somebody.
Yeah.
So at least
whoever this is.
You're on notice.
The CW has good shows, right?
Oh, well.
I'll see.
Anyway, we all hate something, all right? But I think this is a very welcome course correction after Scream 3.
It is.
One thing I do want to do at the end of this episode, if you will oblige me and join me in it, I want to re-rank the franchise with new scores before we score this one.
Okay.
I am happy too, because I was looking back and I could have been nicer to Scream 3. I could have been nicer to Scream 2.
Yes, and I felt very bad.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like I'm trying to even think of how long those episodes were ago, but we've talked a lot about how we struggled with rankings at the beginning and how we were trying to objectively looking at blah, 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 and it's like, no, like we were talking about it before we started recording. Sometimes they just like trash.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes objectively a movie can be shit, but I'm like, oh, easy 8.59. Like, I mean.
But that's now,
Yeah, that's me. That's what I think. So yeah, I would be happy to get the opportunity to be a little nicer to a franchise that I love so much.
That's the thing, is that we were way too serious back then.
Yes.
Like we were snobs. I had a monocle on. I threw that away a few weeks ago, but
we're like, please take us seriously.
I think the thing is that having rewatched the entire franchise, I did that this week. I watched 1, 2, 3, and then I watched 4 preparing the script. It is, even like you said, even when it's bad, it's great still.
Yeah.
And there is something about this franchise that I think will kind of always have a special place for me, which is why even with the new Scream that's coming out, it doesn't matter. I'm going to see it. Like,
yeah, it doesn't even matter if it's good.
No,
like, I'm still going to
care.
buy it when it comes out. I'm still going to throw it in the rotation. I don't care.
And even if
don't fall side-eyeing me.
I love
don't
that
care.
for y'all. Like, I like I said, I know I give it a lot of shit, but it's a Scream movie.
Yes.
I'm not saying it in a bad way, but they're all the same.
It's a very specific vibe.
It's a formula they follow, and every movie has it. Some of them not as well. Others do it better, but these are Scream movies. You know what I mean? They all follow the same thing.
I do want to say that I think I might be able to answer some of the moments that we don't like.
Okay.
And the reason for that is I heard a lot of conflicting things. We know this was written by Kevin Williamson.
Right.
He wrote 1 and 2 and did the story outline for 3.
Okay.
And then 3 was eventually written by Aaron Kruger.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't they?
And that was kind of the issue here.
Oh, God.
Because he did the full script. He wrote it all. But then after... And this is the thing, in 2011, he did an interview with Entertainment Weekly where he said, oh, it was no big deal. You know, we got into an argument with the Weinsteins a little bit, but everything was fine.
Not the fucking
Weinsteins.
I know,
Of course.
Jesus Christ.
But he says, but the thing was contractual. I just couldn't be there, so I had to go work on Vampire Diaries, which was his other series at the time. And he's like, so they brought in Aaron Kruger to do some rewrites, and it was fine, no big deal. But then in 2020, he did an interview, and he was like, yeah, there was a lot of studio bullshit. So I'm like, no. And even at the time, Wes Craven had tweeted about how it wasn't the script that he was wanting to make.
Fuck.
Completely.
That sucks.
He said it's got a lot of Kevin Williamson still in it, but there are some moments that...
you definitely feel him in the dialogue.
Yes. And I do wonder, when it comes to rewrites, I don't know how much was changed, really. I do have a lot of deleted scenes that are interesting that I'll kind of talk about a little bit.
Right.
But I feel like this one feels way more Kevin Williamson than 3 did.
Oh, no, for sure.
I don't know what 3 was supposed to feel like.
I don't know either.
But this is, I think maybe that could explain why I just I was like, I don't. And again, we all take notes, so we're kind of, we'll go through it. But yeah, I was just like, what's happening? I'm like.
And it seemed like the moments that I didn't like could have fit right at home in Scream 3.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
I was wondering if that's the thing. But I do want to end the intro on a very happy note.
Right.
This being, unfortunately, Wes Craven's final film. I did see an interview on a featurette on the DVD where he said that the main draw to this film for him was, like we had said, bringing the entire family back together. He had the main cast, the screenwriter, the cinematographer, the composer. It was like,
nice.
And so I think this is a very fitting and it's a heartwarming send-off for a horror legend.
Icon, yeah.
Now, before we remake this film for a new decade, we would like to issue a warning for spoilers. Pod Mortem is a very in-depth podcast, and in thoroughly discussing horror films, we have no choice but to spoil a thing or two. If you don't wish to be spoiled, please go watch the film, then come back and enjoy the show. If you've already seen the film or don't care about spoilers, let's return to Woodsboro. Now, obviously, this film relies heavily on having already seen Scream, Scream 2, and Scream 3. If you haven't, we'd advise you to go watch them or go listen to episodes 13, 33, and 49 of our show as a refresher. So the film begins with a telephone ringing on a side table. We watch as Sherry, played by Lucy Hale, answers it, only to be met by the voice provided by Roger Jackson once again. It's literally the opening to Scream.
Yeah.
It literally, yeah.
Like, completely. The thing to me, though, is that throughout all 4 films, Wes Craven, I read, kept Roger Jackson away from the cast.
Mm-hmm.
Every film. And so every single time, this dude's just a mystery to everyone.
Well, I feel like it's better that way because if you were just like eating ramen with him while y'all were on break, you know what I mean?
He's like, now let me cut you up. I'm just kidding.
No, run.
No, but seriously.
It keeps that like mystique.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's the voice, capital T, capital V. Like,
And honestly, I've seen him and he just seems like a nice, just a random dude.
Don't ruin it.
Please don't. But the voice asks who is on the other end, which is an odd thing to ask when you've made the call. But Sherry is not down for any games and tells him that he has the wrong number and hangs up. She heads into the kitchen where her friend Trudy, played by Shanae Grimes-Beach, asks who is on the phone. Sherry shrugs it off as a wrong number and the girls get ready for movie night. Sherry has picked Saw 4, which Trudy immediately shits on. While Sherry thinks Jigsaw's kills are creative, Trudy says you don't care who dies because there's no character development. I was like, girls, you're both right. But Trudy is transfixed on her phone and when asked, reveals that she has something of a Facebook stalker. He apparently leaves her messages like, hey, what's up? You're hot. And more importantly, I want to kill you.
You know, the natural progression of
Yeah, I mean, modern dating, right? I mean, shit. But Sherry says to delete him, which Trudy did, but he found his way back in. Sherry says to report him, but apparently he's very hot. So she shows Sherry a faceless ab photo of the stalker, and Trudy is absolutely being catfished because it is, in fact, Channing Tatum.
Yeah, that was so fucking funny.
I think I'm trying to remember when Catfish came out because I'm like, people were getting fooled left and right.
It's so sad, like, how much of a hit human decency is taken because that's got to be your first inclination now is, oh, that's not what they really look like.
Yeah.
But back then it was like, this dude is fucking ripped and he's talking to me.
It's like, who in Woodsboro is shredded like this? But this is when the phone rings again, so Sherry answers it. Once again, it's the voice asking who is on the other end. Sherry says, a more impatient version of the person you just spoke to.
Very good.
Yeah. That's when I'm like, man, okay, Kevin Williamson, he's still got it. But he says that she doesn't have to be such a bitch, and when she rushes to get off the phone, he threatens that if she hangs up, he'll cut through her neck until he feels bone.
At this point, I enjoyed the catfish bit, and I was like, that's funny. But I was like, was this straight to DVD? I was like, what's happening here?
It feels very rushed, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm a little confused right now.
Well, the escalation. It's
Yeah, I
just
was
like,
like,
okay,
what the fuck? Like,
now
you
we're cutting
just-
bone.
Yeah,
Okay. It's like, fuck.
You don't want to ask a question?
Yeah.
Or
We usually warm up a little bit.
do you
but-
like horror movies?
yeah, right away.
But yeah, because I remember sitting in the theater, and right now I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. This kind of feels like Scream by the numbers,
Literally,
Yeah.
yeah.
and I was a little worried.
Yeah.
But Trudy asks who is on the phone, so Sherry hands it to her, saying it's for her. Great friend. After telling the voice her name, she asks who he is, and he tells her that he's the last person she'll ever see alive.
I don't like that line. It's nitpicky. I feel like the last person who's ever going to see you alive is scarier.
I thought I was
Right.
like, what? I was like, what do you mean? How are you seeing me?
It's not to give anything away, but it's said again later, and both times I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
No, well, to me, it made me think about like that literal eye shot of Principal Hembry in the first Scream. Like that was the last person he saw.
It was.
But I mean, I guess it could be scarier.
Yeah.
Again, this is like the B Squad. But Sherry tells her to hang up since it's just a prank, and after she does, Trudy asks if all the doors are locked. Sherry tells her to calm down, but just as they get up to check, the phone rings again. This time, they do not answer it. But this is when Sherry's phone vibrates, a message from her stalker, answer the phone. They do not.
Yeah.
Instead, they head to check the front door, and Sherry is still shrugging off the entire thing as a prank. Before Trudy can check the doorbell rings, causing both girls to scream. Trudy tells Sherry not to open it, asking who it is, but getting no reply and saying they should just call the cops. But her phone vibrates again, with the stalker daring them to open the door. Sherry obliges, swinging the door open to find nothing.
Now, they both seem well-versed in horror films. I was very disappointed in Sherry.
Well, yeah.
Never fucking opened the door.
Not only that, where's the peephole at? Like,
I don't know.
Like,
See?
I was like, you're not looking through the hole to see who it is.
This is
You're not
expert victim mode.
She's like, these are the all or nothing days.
And what year is this? She's using a fucking sidekick?
See, and that's something they talked about in the commentary. They said they were trying to make it ambiguous because this film's 2011.
Yeah.
But that shit's like 2003 technology.
Yeah, John Paul was very confused.
Yeah.
He went on a whole rant about sidekicks.
Well, they talked about it on commentary, but I like the sound they made when they flicked open.
Oh, no, yeah, of course.
Those are really cool. It makes me feel like I'm 12 years old again. Even though I never had one. I think just my friends did.
Yeah,
But they
I didn't
looked
either.
cool.
Yeah.
They did look cool. But this is when Sherry steps outside and looks around, saying no one is there. This is when Trudy's phone vibrates again, saying, I'm not outside, I'm right beside you. Out of nowhere, Ghostface leaps into the frame, stabbing Trudy in the chest. As Sherry runs to escape out the front door, a second Ghostface slices her throat. She slinks down, bleeding out as the music swells, and we get the title, Stab 6.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
I felt better,
Yeah.
but still not.
No?
No, I felt a lot better.
know, yeah.
Because
Me too.
it was all too fast. It was all Ghostface didn't fall once. I mean, it was very
He's clumsier than that.
That's what I was like. There's no way this is the movie. I was
No.
like, this is fucking.
Yeah, there's no Scooby-Doo chase scenes. I'm like, I was put at ease when I saw that it was a stab film.
I can't tell you, because we went to see it at the theater and it was like full of people.
Yeah.
I
And
bet.
the relief that washed over everyone.
Like, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, like, really, dude? I know it's been 11 years. You gotta get your second win, but I genuinely think that it is so genius that they did this. And they even said on commentary, Wes Craven's like, look, we were trying to, even though it felt kind of like Scream, they're like, we're trying to make this corny.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, no, they did.
It did.
They
Yeah.
succeeded.
Enough to annoy me.
And so, but they did it in such a way that, like, they could have gone way over the top.
Uh-huh.
So you're like, is this stab or is this just, has Scream kind of lost it? Like,
Yeah.
they did it in such a perfect way that you can't.
Well, I mean, look at Robert Rodriguez's stab.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, that was way over the
That
top.
was way worse than this.
She's like, I don't even know you, and I'm beginning to not like you already or whatever. I'm like, this is really bad. But we pull back from a television to reveal Rachel, played by Anna Paquin, and Chloe, played by Kristen Bell. After the lackluster opening to Stab 6, Rachel turns off the TV, annoyed at the idea of a Facebook killer and calling it the death of horror. Chloe, who kind of dug it, says that Twitter would make more sense, in all fairness.
I love that that's her.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, Facebook is a little, it's a little outdated.
It makes me laugh because that's 2011. People were already over it.
Yeah.
But Rachel grabs a drink from the fridge, saying it's all been done before. The self-aware teens and their meta deconstruction of horror, eventually taken out one by Ghostface. She says, stick a fork in 1996 already. Chloe actually likes the stab movies, though, and compared to other subgenres, she says that there's something real about a guy with a knife who just snaps. It could happen.
I agree.
Right.
I think that's one thing we've learned from this show is that slashers are, like, we always liked slashers, but I feel like watching and critiquing them as much as we have, I've grown to love them more than I ever thought I could.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you could be just sitting somewhere drinking some coffee with your friend. Guy breaks through the window, asks if you read Sutter Kane. I mean,
Ask what?
right. Do you read Sutter Kane? I don't know, but I can't do it as good as him.
But still.
My throat
Nobody
hurts.
can. I need a lozenge.
That's great. Some guy gets his voice piped in, and, you know.
It can happen. is
Anything
the
can
point.
happen. But Rachel calls bullshit, saying that it's all a bunch of cliche bullshit. Recycling old ideas without an element of surprise. You can see everything coming.
I love that Scream always finds a way to have a character say what they know their critics are going to say.
Yes. It's almost like, I remember
It's
seeing...
like, we know.
Yeah, like, don't fucking save your blogs. But it's smart because it's like owning it before someone owns you.
For sure.
It's like, look, we understand. And also putting it in the mind of the audience this early.
Yeah.
It's very smart.
Yeah.
And also very risky because now you have to
Yeah.
deliver
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah.
But this is when, out of nowhere, Chloe pulls a knife, stabbing Rachel in the stomach and asking if that surprised her. Rachel asks why, and Chloe says because she talks too much, stabbing her again and telling her to just shut the fuck up and watch the movie. So I think that's also talking to the critics.
Yeah.
Like, just have fun. But as Rachel dies, Chloe turns the TV back on, revealing the title, Stab 7.
We talked last week about Double Dreams.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I can trust
Yeah.
your film. Like,
Well, they've already lied to us twice.
Yeah.
Although I'm glad they lied again because then fucking Kristen Bell's the killer. We just saw-
Yeah.
there's no whodunit.
I was like, thank God. I was
Yes.
like, what is happening
She's
here?
definitely not getting into the good place.
No.
Am I right?
television. I have not watched the show, so that's my only comment.
Television.
Yes. But we pull back again from another television to find Marnie Cooper, played by Britt Robertson, sitting on the couch with her friend, Ginny Randall, played by Amy Teagarden. Ginny is stoked about the opening to Stab 7, saying it gets her every time, but Marnie could not be more confused. Ginny explains it's like the Twilight Zone, a movie within a movie. But this only raises further questions, and Ginny tells Marnie that she's just overthinking it. Marnie says the writers were underthinking it. And that's exactly why she's not into these films. Considering they live in Woodsboro, though, Ginny's like, well, you're not in the mood? You better get in the mood. Marnie, though, says that the films have nothing to do with Woodsboro and that these films are supposed to be based on a true story, right? Ginny says the first 3 were based on what happened to Sidney Prescott until she threatened a lawsuit, and then they just started doing their own thing.
I really.
But wasn't that in Woodsboro?
Well, yeah,
So why did she say they don't have anything to do with?
the ones after the
Yeah.
original
the
trilogy.
ones after.
Yeah.
now,
What
but-
I appreciate is that even this fake franchise has
Yeah.
gone off the rails.
Yes.
Like
She
so
says
many real franchises. do.
she says Stab 5 has time travel.
Oh yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
And I was like, well, they did put Jason in space.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
They did.
everybody's having trouble.
Takes Manhattan.
He does. An entire
Yeah.
fucking borough. But when Marnie laments that they hear enough about this story every year, Ginny counters that at least Woodsboro is known for something. I mean, I guess I would rather be known for
Yeah,
something
not
good.
that.
Yeah, the town we live in is known for a few things, but none of them are good.
No, they're not.
And I'm not proud of it being. At least we're known for the highest COVID spread.
Yeah.
Nope.
Fucking
nope.
high-fiving.
Yeah,
Like
not
we're at
proud
a
of it.
NASA launch or something. But Ginny then hears a noise coming from the second floor and gets up to investigate, with Marnie staying downstairs. Ginny gets to her room, which is filled with butterfly decor.
Yeah.
I thought that might come up later. It does not.
It doesn't.
But she chalks the noise up to a draft coming from an open window. But downstairs, the phone rings, which Marnie reluctantly answers. On the other end is the voice. Now, he had been credited as the voice, but the subtitles just straight up said Ghostface. So I'm just going to
We
call
know.
him.
We know what
Yeah.
it is.
We do. Ghostface asks who he's talking to. Marnie gives her name and asks who he is, and he says she's the last... Sorry. He's the last person she'll ever see alive.
It just could be better. That's
It
all
could
I'm
be.
saying.
But I will say it fits very well if you think about certain things that come later.
I was just about to say that because it doesn't really mean a lot now.
Yeah.
But just hold on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just sounds funny.
It does.
It's not a good line.
Yeah.
Kruger.
We're just going to blame him for everything, I think. Anything we don't like. But as fear starts to set in, Marnie hears laughter on the other end, and it's revealed to be Ginny playing a joke with the use of a voice changer app. Marnie is not pleased, and we watch as Ginny shuts her window while Marnie continues to admonish her on the phone. It's all fun and games until we hear what sounds like Marnie being choked on the other end, and the line goes dead. After a crashing sound, Ginny rushes downstairs to check on her friend, only to find the phone on the floor and the lights out. I'm going to be honest, even going through my script, I forgot that it was Ginny that made that call. And I thought it was forecasting
Fuck.
something
No,
later.
yeah.
I mean, well, it still kind of does.
Yeah, well, we can pretend.
The stab films are important.
Yes,
Okay,
very
that's
much.
what we'll take from it.
It's setting the stage
yes.
for later. But Ginny critiques Marnie's prank for following standard horror conventions, but then gets the shit scared out of her when the phone in her hand rings. We also see a shadow dart by a window.
Oh, yeah.
Ginny says Marnie can't do the voice because she doesn't have the app, but we hear Ghostface on the other end say that he is not an app. And when Ginny asks, he also says that he is not Trevor.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
He tells her to think of him as a director, and she'll be playing a part in his movie. Unfortunately for Marnie, her part has been left on the cutting room floor. He then tries to paint Ginny as a dumb blonde archetype, but she counters with her GPA and IQ. Now, anybody who knows their IQ offhand is an asshole, right?
Unless people are always like, you're just blonde with big tits.
Yeah,
and she's
sure.
like, listen, motherfucker.
142! But he once again says Marnie did not make the cut, and Ginny says that it's not funny. The thing is, though, this isn't a comedy. It's a horror film, and she better start running. Suddenly, Marnie's body comes crashing through the back door, and Ghostface appears in the doorway. So, first of all, this seemed exactly like the moment in the original Scream.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, it felt right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now we're in it.
Yes.
Like, that's, for me, that's what it felt like. It's like, okay, now we're home.
Yes, and I am so glad that those stab fake outs.
Yeah. It just shows, like, I guess maybe to Wes Craven, just his skill that you can feel that difference in, you know, because you definitely can.
The difference between when he's fucking around and all.
He's like, no, let's make an actual movie now.
Yeah, all right, guys. All right, come on. I was very surprised, though, on commentary. They said that this film was shot in Michigan. And so there are a lot of reshoots done because most of it was shot in the summer. And then there are shots that are shot in the winter. And there was snow like all over the place.
Oh, shit.
He said that this shot of Ghostface peeking in after he throws Marnie, there's a blizzard behind him.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He said they had to remove it digitally.
Damn.
Can't even tell.
No.
But Ginny screams and runs for the front door, and after fumbling with the locks, heads upstairs. Her attempt to hide is foiled almost immediately with Ghostface chasing her and stabbing her in the back, sending her tumbling down a set of stairs leading to the garage.
The hiding was piss poor at best.
It was, yeah.
She was really just standing at that door, like waiting for him.
Like, did she plan to meet him later? Or?
Like, what are you doing?
Like, no, he knows I'm here.
I thought you had a 4.0.
What happened to 140, whatever. But Ginny hits the garage door opener and crawls to the exit. She gets halfway out before Ghostface shuts that shit down on her spine before dragging her back inside. Standing over her, he raises the knife, stabbing her as she screams. We then get the title, Scream 4. So this, of course, feels very much like a little callback to Tatum.
Of course.
Right.
Just a little, I mean, not as gruesome.
No, Tatum, I love Tatum. And
Yes.
she did not deserve what she got. But that, as a child watching that one really stuck with me.
Is that the garage door?
Yes.
That wasn't really what stuck with me, but...
Well, you're talking about
Oh, how excited she was for the party.
how cold the garage was.
She really wanted to be in the sequel.
You're like, damn, they filmed this in the winter too? But I think it's fun how they kind of hint at things that are familiar, but change them up a little bit.
Right.
It's kind of like the main theme of the entire movie.
Yeah. When I noticed when she was running through the house was like barely being built. Like, did they run so much that the house unbuilt itself? Or I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, none of this was shown from outside. Like, there was construction going on.
This film has time traveled. She went back to when the house was being built.
All right.
The house was like, you can stay, but I'm leaving.
So you want to be dumb and get killed? That's on you. But the thing is that they said a lot of these things. I think that like maybe there was one or two sets in the entire film.
Right.
The majority of everything was on location. So I took it as I guess this house was just getting their garage remodeled.
Yeah.
with no explanation.
No explanation. But to the sound of very upbeat music, we get shots of a sunny street in Woodsboro following a car as it parks outside of a bookstore.
I miss Red Right Hand.
Me too.
Is there a reason?
I don't know. I was personally offended.
It just felt kind of naked. Like
it did.
Because in your mind, you're like, this is where it's supposed to go.
Yes. Especially with the shots of the town.
Exactly.
Like that's if you're trying to redo
right.
Scream. But there is a moment later that I feel like is maybe a nod to it without saying it.
Okay.
I could be up my own ass with it, and I will gladly accept that criticism when the time comes. I do want to say that the music in this film is aggressively 2011.
Yeah, no.
But that's okay.
I mean, it's fine. I did enjoy the song on the end credits a lot.
No, that was good.
But I do think that a lot of this probably felt dated in 2012.
Yeah.
But out of the passenger side of the car steps Sidney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell, who stares at an array of Ghostface decorations lining the street and kind of shrugs it off because it is the anniversary.
Sidney!
Yes.
It was just every time one of them comes up, I'm like, I'm so excited.
Again, high school reunion, but the good kind.
Right, but one I want to go to.
But this is when Rebecca Walters, Sidney's assistant, played by Allison Brie, draws her attention to the display in the store window. Trudy Campbell.
Yeah, but I'm like, Trudy Campbell would never. The more we get to know, I'm like, man.
No, Pete Campbell might.
No, Pete would.
But we see the enlarged cover of Out of Darkness, A True Story of Survival by Sidney Prescott, as well as several copies underneath and a sign that says, today only, 1 p.m. So first of all, no shit, Out of Darkness.
Yeah.
She's fucking coming back to Woodsboro on the anniversary.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal. And to promote the book, the timing of it is...
It's unfortunate, but I really loved this character arc for her because when we caught up with her in 3, she was afraid of her own shadow. She wouldn't even leave her house. So the fact that I know at the end we're like, don't leave your fucking gate open, Sid. But she's like taking her power back.
Well, because in Scream 3, she forgets that other criminals do exist.
But I really liked this for her. Not only that she would come back to Woodsboro on the anniversary, but that she wrote a book about it. And she's like, look, I'm not scared.
Yeah.
I'm like, you go, bitch. Like, I was proud of her.
She's moving forward.
Yeah.
Right.
And in huge ways. Like,
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like Sidney would never do that. Like, it feels like she would get there eventually, and she did. I just really liked it.
No, I think it's great. You love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The strength of this character.
Right.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I do want to call out about the Scream franchise.
Mm-hmm.
They really, I understand that they get a lot of criticism for kind of being delicate and protective of their characters.
Right.
But anyone who is a fan of this franchise has grown so attached to these characters that I don't really care about their plot armor. I don't give a fuck.
Me neither. I know John Paul's making a face because as you were talking, I got the thought, what if one of them dies in the next one? And I felt the pain in my chest.
Yeah, see, and that's... But that shows that they've built...
I'm like, let whoever in the new cast kill all of them. I don't care. Don't touch.
No.
I get it, but it makes it... To me, it makes it less special. So if Doofy's in every single movie...
Stop calling him that.
His name's Doofy.
His name is Dwight. Call him.
I will not be calling him Dwight. But like if Dewey's in every movie and he always gets hurt but then bounces back, I'm not going to care the next time he gets hurt.
I will.
I do understand, like I get the attachment to the characters because there are certain shows I watch that I'm like the same way. But I have like after a while, it's like kind of like with Dragon Ball Z. It's like, oh, Goku's just going to beat whoever they put. Why the fuck are they bringing a new character? It does get after a while.
That's totally valid.
Yeah, just after a while, it's kind of like, do I really care what happens next?
I totally understand that point. I will say that coming into this one,
right,
I genuinely felt that they were the most unsafe they've ever been. Because there's like an entire brand new cast.
New now. Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, are they going to try to move on?
Yeah. And what you're saying is super valid. This franchise gets a pass for me. I don't know why. Like when we would watch The Walking Dead, I would get so annoyed because you're like,
I know.
fucking Daryl's not, he's fine.
Yeah.
Like that would piss me off. But in this, I'm like, don't fucking touch them.
Weirdly, on commentary, they had said that the original opening to this film was going to be Sidney doing like a release party for her book, and Ghostface crashes it, kills like everyone there, wounds the shit out of her, and then we flash forward 3 years later.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And so I guess that's kind of a big...
Yeah.
But I'm so glad they didn't do that, first of all. But whenever they changed their mind and the studio was like, no, we don't want you doing that, Kevin Williamson wrote the stab fake outs and stuff over a weekend.
Oh,
Of course it did. Did Sidney spend the whole movie in the hospital with a wig on like Halloween 2?
Oh.
Good Lord. That's the only way it could have been worse.
Yeah.
But we then cut to a shot of a bedroom where Dewey Riley, played by David Arquette, is awoken by the sound of an alarm on his phone. It is the theme from Beverly Hills Cop, which is hilarious.
Yes, it was.
JP can't stand it.
What? I asked your sister, wasn't he hurt in the last movie? Like he limped the entire movie.
See, he did, and I did want to talk about that because they had mentioned it. I can't remember where I read it, but they said that in the script itself, they say that over the past 11 years, he has gone through extensive physical therapy.
Oh,
Okay.
God, get out of here.
We didn't read the script.
Yeah, I know.
So you guys, how dare you be asking? No,
So
but
clearly his limp is gone.
I was like, wait, he was fucking hurt that whole
Yes.
movie.
No, and
And
his lip
two-
was hilarious.
Yeah.
well, 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it carried on for years.
Yeah, now he's just fucking.
He's
He's fine.
Yeah.
Rolling out of bed. But as he gets out of bed, Gail Weathers Riley, played by Courtney Cox, rolls over and reaches at his empty side of the bed.
Just thrilled to see them together. Like, I'm bursting. Get back together in real life, please.
Yeah, I know.
I was glad that they were both here, but I was like, this is going to be some ridiculous shit.
Why?
Because
only-
they're both very over the top on camera. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but it is a show. When they're on there, it's like, oh, Gail's finna get in some shit.
You're like
Well,
that
of course.
Yeah.
San Andreas meme. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
I just felt like they were real people. I'm like, wow, Gail stayed in Woodsboro with him. Like, I'm like,
You love to see when love perseveres.
love wins, y'all.
One thing I will say about small character moments,
Right.
in this scene, you do see Sidney's book on Dewey's nightstand.
Right.
And I thought that was very sweet.
All right.
I love
all right.
that because that means that he's the only one
Yeah.
who's read Sidney's
Yeah,
book.
I know, what the fuck?
Because nobody else has.
But as Dewey exits their large house, dressed for work as the town sheriff, a seemingly new version of his Final Fantasy theme playing.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same, but it is close enough.
No, yeah.
Well, it's a modern age.
Fair. But as he makes his way to his vehicle, an SUV speeds by, blasting rock music. He screams out, "Hey, 25, stay alive!" The driver of the car, Kirby Reed, played by Hayden Panettiere, shouts out an apology to Dewey over the music as Dewey just mutters, "Kirby."
Best part of the movie.
I love Kirby.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we're in
Yeah,
agreement.
no,
Yes.
we're all. When he was like, "This isn't even gonna be good," blah blah blah. I was like, "Your girlfriend Hayden
Panettiere.
Panettiere is in it." Well, why didn't you lead with that? I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
that would have been a better lead to just.
no, she's so good in this
Yeah.
too.
She is. That is your fault, Nay.
I know.
But-
I should have led with that.
I do personally think that it's a great thing, but it's also a detriment because there is someone who is playing her friend that she just acts circles around.
Yeah.
And her being so good kind of
Yeah. No, I agree.
unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
But I would wager to say that Kirby is my favorite part of the film.
Oh, yeah.
She's the Parker Posey
Yes.
from 3.
Yeah.
I mean, has less on her shoulders because Parker Posey
No,
really
yeah.
carried all of Scream 3. But
Yeah.
She did.
Kirby was a huge bright spot in this
Oh,
film.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I love
Oh,
her.
yeah.
I do also want to point out that when Dewey mutters Kirby, his mouth says, "Fuck." Which I think is... I don't know if they should have left that. I don't know.
That was a choice.
Yeah.
Turned into Gizmo, huh?
Yeah. But Kirby pulls up to a house and honks her horn as her friend Jill Roberts, played by Emma Roberts, steps out and approaches the car. I don't want to be mean. I do not find her a great actress.
No. What I will say, I personally don't care for her.
Right.
When I saw her, I was like, great.
Yeah. So we
She-
all had the
she
same
did-
reaction.
I guess so.
She did better than what I was expecting from her
Right.
in this. There are moments where I'm like, fuck, like she's annoying
Yeah.
and like pretty boring. Like I wish that her character was more likable
Uh-huh.
or more dynamic or more
Something.
really anything.
Yeah.
I'd say charismatic.
Or
maybe.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
even because, okay, the minute that she gets in the car, we're already establishing a very familiar dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's already, before we even dig in any further, which I know you're going to,
Mm-hmm.
Jill equals new Sidney.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that immediately, as soon as she gets in Kirby's car, you're like, okay, Kirby is Tatum-ish.
Right, right.
Jill is Sidney. Sidney had a personality when
Right.
she was in high school. Like, I just wish, and maybe it is nitpicky. Before we got started, I told both of y'all, I was like, I have some personal sins.
Yeah.
I wish that Jill had a little more substantive, I
Right.
guess, is my issue. And I already, like, I'll admit, she already had, like, she started at a deficit.
I was going to say,
I don't like Emma Roberts.
there's already a strike.
But,
Yeah.
there was a strike, but I can put that to the side because this is fucking Scream.
Right. So she needs to find a boyfriend and give her a necklace, sing to her in
Sing
the cafeteria.
I mean, I need something, Jill, okay? I just, objectively, the character falls flat, and that has nothing to do with Emma Roberts.
But I feel like the thing is that honestly, even if, and I don't mean to say that it does fall on Emma Roberts, but I feel like,
You're like, what if it does that?
well, yeah, think about this. I think that Kirby is so successful as a character partially because of the writing, but partially because Hayden Panettiere is great.
Yes.
She is, but I mean, even go back to the original. I loved Tatum.
Uh-huh.
I thought Rose McGowan was very fucking funny. I thought she was, just like we said about Kirby, very
Right,
dynamic.
right.
She was a good BFF. I still cared about Sidney. I don't give a shit about Jill. I'm just being honest. I don't.
And you're not alone.
I mean,
Yeah.
protect Kirby
At all costs.
At
No,
all
yeah.
costs.
No, yeah.
I don't really care about your friend Jill. I don't.
Why isn't Kirby the new Sidney?
Now I'm mad. What I will say, and she hadn't done American Horror Story yet, right?
I don't think so.
But in like American Horror Story and what was that show, Scream Queens?
Uh-huh.
Emma Roberts is always this blah, 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 bitch, like very blonde, very one-liners,
Yeah.
very I'm hot and better than all of you, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
yeah.
It was refreshing to not get that from her
Okay, yeah.
as Jill.
Right, right.
We'll talk more later. But I was like, okay. And again, I know that she hasn't done that yet, but in my mind, I've already I seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I know what you're typecast as. I know
Right.
what we have to expect from you. Period. So I was like, okay. If her hair's brown, then
Yeah,
she's
maybe.
a nice girl. Like, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a very like formulaic to me.
Right.
I'm just kind of sick. I'm just kind of sick of it. To be honest.
Well, she was playing the same character over and over.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
For a good clip.
Yes. So I will give her a point in that column. I feel like just my personal distaste for her.
Uh-huh.
Maybe because we love Evan Peters in this house.
Right.
Yes, we do.
And domestic violence is domestic violence, whether you're a man or a woman.
Right.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of
kinda
hard
hard
for me to divorce myself from that.
Right.
But it's Scream, and we're here to have a good time.
So Kirby tells her before she gets in that she has to promise not to kill her. As it turns out, Trevor called her last night because he wants to know how upset Jill is. Jill is about to go off, but shuts the conversation down as Olivia Morris, played by Marielle Jaffe, gets in the back seat. First words out of Olivia's mouth. She also got a call from Trevor last night. He says that he's worried that Jill's cousin returning to Woodsboro is distracting her from how sorry he is.
I know we haven't even met Trevor yet. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
But I'm sorry. It's like, oh my God. But Kirby starts driving, and Olivia asks Jill if she's seen the Grim Reaper, the Angel of Death. Jill doesn't get it, but Kirby says they mean her cousin. It's the last stop on her book tour and the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Kirby calls it dramatic, but says that Sidney's the reason that she loves horror movies so much. Jill admits that she doesn't really know her cousin all that well, and Olivia says that everywhere Sidney went, people died. Then she jokes that Stab is the wrong franchise for her, saying that it should have been Final Destination.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
My fucking cousin.
Dude, Jill just letting them talk. She's like, right?
I know, that bitch
she
is
said
crazy.
She didn't really know her.
Yeah, but it's
still.
still family. Family who has been through a lot.
I guess.
But this is when Jill's like, I don't know.
Just the non-committal, whatever.
I mean, if I don't really know you, I mean, whether you're family or not, I don't know if you're capable Or you know what I mean?
I know, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, if this is her mom's sister was murdered as well.
Right.
Yes.
So I mean, it's like
That started
I don't
everything.
know,
she's like, yeah, talk that sass, Olivia. What the fuck?
Go off, son.
But this is when Jill's phone rings, and it's a call from Ginny Randall. The other girls remark that they hate Ginny, which is kind of a red herring because Ginny is dead.
Yeah.
And when Jill answers it, we hear Ghostface on the other end. He says, "Hello, Jill. What's your favorite scary movie?" Jill puts it on speaker, and Ghostface repeats himself, angrier, before Jill just hangs up on him.
He's like, bitch, did
He's
you
like,
want
did
me
you
to
hear me or not? But the girls are a bit weirded out, especially Olivia, who says that she got a call just like that this morning from Marnie. Kirby's like, what? And accidentally runs a stop sign, slamming on her brakes to avoid a wreck.
Kirby's a horrible driver.
Yeah. Well, she was like turned all the way around.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
But Olivia sums up the almost accident with the angel of death. Back in town, Deputy Judy Hicks, played by the always fantastic Marley Shelton, watches as maintenance workers remove Ghostface decorations from street lamps by the orders of the mayor. I love her in this.
I have beef with her.
What? I understand. We've got some allegiances here.
Yeah, we do. Very strong ones.
But you're telling me that she's not fantastic?
She's great in everything I've ever seen her in. And she plays this character very well, very funny at times.
Right.
I've got no beef with her.
Okay.
But Officer Thirsty, we got a little problem. That's all.
I can understand. But Dewey walks up, greeting her, then comments that one generation's tragedy is the next one's joke. Judy apologizes that Dewey still has to deal with all the Ghostface business, then says that she wishes she was old enough to have been on the force with him back in the day, because investigations like that really create strong bonds.
You're not telling me this dude's some kind of sex symbol now. Stop eye humping doofy.
He's a hero.
Get the fuck out of here.
He has saved the day.
He saved the day multiple times. And he taught
saved
himself
the
to walk
day,
again.
Or Parker Posey saved the day.
Well, Parker Posey
Well,
saved
yeah.
my day.
we know.
But after she's clearly in love with him.
Right.
But she immediately pivots and asks how Gail is doing. Dewey says that Gail is doing great. In fact, she's taking a stab at writing fiction. No pun intended.
Right. Fiction.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Gail.
Good for her.
That's development.
Yeah.
But this is when Judy offers Dewey one of her lemon squares, which he declines. She's like, you're not cheating on your wife if you eat one of my lemon squares. And he's like, no, but I would be cheating on my diet.
Oh, Dewey. Yeah, this is where I was like, oh, I don't like you. Like, that was...
Well, it's a lemon square.
No, you don't take it too far. You're not cheating on your wife. Yeah, I was like, bitch, do you fucking know Gail Weathers? Like, do you really know Gail?
But it makes me laugh because it's like maybe in the past they've had conversations and he's like, okay, that would be cheating on my wife. It's like, all right, it's a lemon square.
This does imply that.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that I love so much the level of intensity that Dewey always brings. Like, this man... Nobody takes themselves more seriously. Everything out of his mouth is hilarious to me. He's so funny.
And I will say that he has some of the best reactions in the game. Like, I love David Arquette. I just think he's fantastic.
No, he's great.
Yeah.
But I also thought the whole cheating on my diet, like this weird small town sheriff.
I was going to say it's very... small town, gotta watch the weight.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like, who are you? You like survived multiple massacres.
And he's over here like, Mondays, am I right?
Working hard or hardly working?
But the sweetness is soured when Dewey receives a call on his radio from Deputy Anthony Perkins, played by Anthony Anderson.
Love it. We just did Psycho.
Yeah, we did. Well, I guess if you can name a character Sam Loomis in another, might as well. But he tells Dewey that they need to get to the Randall place. It's bad. Real bad. So they get in their vehicles and head out.
Is that the police code for you need to come over?
Real bad.
Yeah,
it's like, he says it's real bad. There's no code there.
Yeah, I was like...
It's a 1019.
No, it's real bad.
Oh, it's real fucking bad.
It's a small town.
I do want to say there is a deleted scene, I believe goes here, where they actually arrive at the crime scene itself, and it's fucking gruesome.
Oh, yeah?
Why'd they cut it out?
I don't know, but I saw it on the DVD, and they have it where the killer has hung Marnie from the ceiling fan.
Oh, wow.
Holy
Was she
shit.
spinning?
No.
Unfortunately.
That would have been too funny.
No. Oh, that would have been great.
You're like, that's comedy horror.
There you go.
But she's hanging from the ceiling fan. They have written in blood on the wall, what's your favorite scary movie? The place is just filled with blood. And Wes Craven cameos as the coroner.
All right.
I would have liked that.
Yeah.
I know the blood seems kind of Saw-ish, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it's...
Humans can lick too.
I don't know.
Remember in Urban Legends in the Wall?
No,
He cameoed as the custodian in the
Oh,
first Scream.
that's right.
So I feel
That's
like
right.
that would be very cute to have him, back.
And he did cameo in Scream 3, but we were too distracted by Jay and
That's
Silent
right.
Bob.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think that this scene would have worked also because, especially with you saying that it reminds you of Saw.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that what we learn later, it does make a lot of sense that movies are being referenced.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it would have worked, and I would have loved to seen Wes Craven again.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But back at home, Gail sits at her computer watching an interview with Sidney and a TV host played by Nancy O'Dell. Now, interestingly, Nancy O'Dell was an actual host on Entertainment Tonight at the time, but she also cameoed in Scream 2 and Scream 3.
That's so cool.
So they're just bringing everyone
Right.
back. Well, everyone alive.
Yeah.
But she puts Gail on blast, Nancy O'Dell does, asking Sidney if the Stab films and Gail's book have made it harder to go on. Sidney says that she doesn't blame Gail. It's all in the past, and that she wrote Out of Darkness to reinvent herself and shed the label of victim. After literally one question, the interview was over.
Yeah. That was it.
She thought she was going to get some tea on Gail.
Like, fuck. Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks for nothing.
Never mind.
But apparently, Sidney's books have received rave reviews. I think they said New York Times bestseller.
Right.
Like, it's doing gangbusters. I don't understand what that means.
I would read it.
I would read it. Interestingly, though, if you look on Gail's desk, you can see all of Gail's books. There's the Woodsboro Murders.
Right.
That's the original Scream. There's College Terror, which I'm guessing is Scream 2.
Yeah.
And then there's Hollywood Horror, which is Scream 3.
Yeah.
But then there's others. And so I'm like, wow, it's kind of bullshit that she stayed on. She wrote the other Stab films, I'm guessing.
Well, listen.
Did she write the time travel?
It was
Yes.
my understanding that she only wrote the first 3.
Uh-huh.
And that's why 4 and beyond went off the rails. But, I'm a Gail Weathers apologist.
We all love Gail Weathers.
But I'm not going to say that would be beneath her.
No?
To continue writing those books.
I mean, it fits her.
Yeah.
For better or worse. But Gail turns off the video and gets back to her blank Word document that just says Chapter 1. We have all been there.
Yeah, no, I'm writing the same exact book.
Yeah.
She stole my idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty pissed.
This is what they must think when they want to write a new Scream movie.
Ah, come on.
Cut his mic.
But she just stares at the blank cursor before angrily typing out, I have no fucking idea what to write.
See?
But we then cut to Woodsboro High School, where we get that iconic Scream music playing, the super dramatic Marco Beltrami choir stuff. Now, I know I said, this is another reason why I want to rescore at the end. I said on our Scream episode that I thought the music was like kind of but it's super dramatic and I love it.
Right.
I don't know why I was being such an asshole.
We were trying to be very serious.
Yes. I think, in all fairness, there were oddly placed scenes. Like there was one scene where Sidney was just sitting on the couch and it was like, oh. It's like, come on, man. But it's good. But we dip down from the school to find Robbie Mercer, played by Eric Knudsen, switching on a camera attached to an earpiece, welcoming his viewers to his show, Hall Pass. He approaches Olivia, Jill, and Kirby, asking them his Woodsboro Massacre anniversary question, what's your favorite scary movie? Jill asks where he heard that, and he's like, it's a line from Stab 1. The group is then joined by Robbie's friend Charlie Walker, played by Rory Culkin.
I love Rory Culkin.
Yes,
Yeah. He's in Signs.
he is.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Wow.
Signs, huh?
Yeah, great.
Moving on.
Moving on. He's also, I don't know if you guys have seen Lords of Chaos.
Oh, yeah.
That movie
No.
is fucking great.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it, but I know he's in that.
Yeah, he's fantastic in that. And I do, of course, have to shout out his brother, Kieran Culkin, because he is my favorite part of Succession on HBO.
The Culkins, man.
They're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I also heard on commentary, it made me laugh because they put fake pillars on the school because in the original Woodsboro High School, it had pillars on it.
Right.
And so on commentary, they said that some lady drove by and was like, they're wasting money on pillars. Like she got so pissed off. And Wes was like,
They're all styrofoam.
yeah. Like it's the art department. They're not even real. I just called him Wes like we were on speaking terms. Mr. Craven. But since Olivia and Jill don't have an answer to what's your favorite scary movie, Robbie asks known genre fan Kirby her favorite scary movie. She sarcastically answers Bambi, and the group bails.
So already, I'm like, this is Randy and Stu.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie tries to tell her that the whole Bambi thing was a good one, and they kind of share a look, but don't. It's like high school bullshit, you know?
Well, immediately I'm like, please get together.
Yes.
Like, they're
I want them to.
like already into it.
I'm rooting for them so much. But Robbie says that she doesn't even know Charlie exists, but Charlie remains hopeful. At their lockers, Jill tells Kirby that Charlie definitely likes her, and she says that she likes him too, to tease and torment, etc.
Poor Charlie.
But Jill tells her that she could do a lot worse, but as soon as she closes her locker, we see Trevor Sheldon, played by Nico Tortorella.
Billy Loomis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say that so far, he's the only person in the cast that I was like, oh, he's definitely not a high school student. I swear I thought he was going to ask him where their hall pass
I was
was.
going to say, get to class, ladies.
But he does have his bag slung over one shoulder, so he's trying to be like a youth.
Like the youths do.
Yeah. I did also want to point out that as the scene opens, you see a bust of Principal Hembry,
Oh.
kind of like an in memoriam.
Right.
And I saw in a deleted scene that they have a full shot of it,
Oh, shit.
and for some reason didn't end up in the film.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
I wish they would have because, I mean, we didn't know much about Principal Hembry.
No.
Besides the fact that he was real aggressive with the students.
He was going to cut them.
Wow.
But, you know,
It's the Fonz.
pay your
Yeah.
respects. Yes.
Yeah. But Kirby bails immediately when she sees Trevor, and Jill tries to walk away, but he asks to talk to her. He says that he never should have let her go, and Jill gives a very 90s WB teen drama spiel,
Is your brain leaking?
but she says that she loved him, and what he did wasn't letting her go, it was betrayal. And I was like, this is Kevin Williamson, man.
Yes.
But she leaves, and Robbie pops up, ever the charismatic host, saying that Trevor just got denied live on Hall Pass. And then he's like, what's your favorite scary movie, man? It's like, you can't pivot like that. The balls on this dude. It's like, no, but seriously, I'm running a show here. But Trevor says that he'll show him and just growls at the camera. And I was like, is it something from MGM with the lion? Or?
Like, that wasn't a movie.
Not at all. Robbie runs away.
Yeah.
But in the next scene, Gail arrives at the bookstore for the end of Sidney's event. Now, there is a deleted scene before this where Dewey and Gail are at the sink in their house. She's brushing her teeth, getting ready for the day, and he tells her about Sidney's event.
Right.
And he says that since he has to work, she should really go and support Sidney. Gail's like, well, she's never gone to any of my book events. Yeah. And he's like, just kind of like, just go. But there's this tension there. And I think it works better because it's funny to see Gail watching this shitty interview with Sidney.
Yeah.
And then getting mad that she can't write. And she's like, fuck it, I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I like Dewey, I like that part better.
Before we move forward, I would like to say shout out to Gail's hair because it has made a full
Yes.
apology for the bangs.
Yeah.
She looks fantastic. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like they tried to outdo.
I feel like she's gonna have the best fucking hair anybody's
We
ever had.
really need to, yeah. But Sidney is finishing up a speech about empowering women to overcome their fear and trauma to step into the sunlight and out of the darkness. The crowd applauds, and Rebecca reminds them to snag a book for the signing before they sell out. Sidney notices Gail and approaches her, with Gail offering her congratulations for her book, even though she hasn't read it yet. Sidney should have been like, I'll send you a copy. But instead, she gives Gale a hug. But Dewey walks in, and Sidney calls out to him and gives him a much warmer and larger hug. But it's clear that Dewey is not bringing good news, as a police cruiser parks very awkwardly outside.
I was going to say, real quick, this is how you handle your... They crashed that bookstore.
They did.
There's innocent people, civilians
Could
wandering.
just be walking by.
What are you doing?
It's like, Dewey, you're in control
Yeah,
here.
No, there's no chill. There's no chill.
But Dewey tells all the attendees of the book signing to stay where they are and remain silent. Judy helps keep them in line, and when Gale asks what's going on, she tells her that it's police business. Gale does not take this very well, so Dewey spills it. They believe a phone was stolen from a crime scene, and Judy has traced its location to this bookstore. But he says that the rest is need to know.
Why would he say that to Gale?
Because it's not her business right now. He's trying to
And
work.
That's his wife.
It is his wife.
Literally, all he had to say was, "I'll tell you the rest later."
He's the sheriff, right?
Yes.
Okay. You remember the sheriff from Misery?
Yes.
Again, he's the...
But they were cute.
I know, but he's responsible for the town.
Yeah.
No, I
It's
get
not-
it, but be like, "I'll tell you later." Don't be like, "Bitch,
Well,
you
you
don't need to
you
know this
can't.
part."
You can't say in front of all these people.
you can.
Oh, I'll
should
tell
have-
you later.
They should have a wink.
Yeah, all right, I'll
like
share evidence with you
Yeah.
later in our home.
A Lucille Bluth wink that
Wow.
means I'll tell you when we get home.
But then everyone's like, what the fuck was that?
What's wrong with your eyes?
But Dewey whips out his cell phone to call the number, and we hear it ringing outside. Deputy Ross Haas, played by Adam Brody, directs Dewey to where the sound is coming from.
I love Adam Brody so much.
Yes.
What is he doing here?
I don't.
He's having a blast.
No.
We don't get enough.
Yeah,
We
he
don't.
should have been more.
That is one of the sins. You get Adam Brody, fucking use him a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, no, yeah.
There is something just flat out special about this dude.
Yeah.
But the noise is coming from the trunk of Sidney's rental car. Rebecca tosses Dewey the keys of the car, and they open it up to find the cell phone and a knife on top of a stack of blood-stained copies of Sidney's book. Sidney hopes it's just a prank, but Dewey says that it isn't, taking her away.
The way she said it was like, Dewey, tell me this, like Dewey's pranking her.
You're fucking with me, Dewey.
You know, he's literally the last person that would do this.
And he came in so seriously, there's no way.
He came
No,
in
yeah.
Dewey serious,
Yeah.
which is like to
Another
the max.
level.
Yeah.
But Gale gets a better look inside the trunk against Judy's protest, and honestly, like physically trying to restrain her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like smacked her arm.
But back at Woodsboro High, Mr. Baker, played by John Leopard, is attempting to teach his class when every student's cell phone begins to ring. He asks if anyone wants to share what's going on, and Olivia blurts out that Jenny Randall and Marnie Cooper were murdered last night. Robbie's like, what's your favorite scary movie? I'm like, is he rehearsing
Stop.
for later? Like, it's like he's a malfunctioning machine.
What's your favorite scary movie?
No, I can do that better. But Charlie and a few others stand up to look outside the window where they see news vans parking outside the school. But we then cut to the Woodsboro police station where the media is also swarming outside.
Somebody, I don't know, one of the reporters called Sidney Prescott a local celebrity victim.
I'm sorry?
Which, like, her whole point of her book is not being a bit. Like, I was like, how fucking rude. You can literally just say local celebrity because she
Right.
is.
Or local survivor?
Literally, I'm like, what a bitch. I hated
She
that.
didn't read the book?
That's it.
But he did.
I want to point out as well, there is a scene that was cut that I would really prefer was here.
Uh-huh.
They have all the kids minus Jill.
Right.
They're sitting against the fountain in the town square, just like Scream.
Man.
Yeah.
And they're talking about their theories of like who it could be.
Right.
And they're like, well, where were you last night,
Leave her
Trevor?
alone.
Yes.
That
Did
would've
you
been
really put a
great.
spleen in the mailbox?
That would have been great.
I wanted it so bad, but they cut it.
It's called tact, you fucker.
Because that's very tactful.
A horrible line.
But inside the police station, after snagging and eating a lemon square and being greeted by Perkins and Haas, Gale attempts to head into Dewey's office where he's interviewing Sidney. She's stopped immediately by Judy, who tells her that she cannot go in there, considering civilian intervention in police business could prove problematic in the court of law. She's doing the right thing, Nay. I know you're not.
I was actively biting my tongue. You know what it is?
She has stopped biting her tongue.
No, I think Gail Weathers is my id.
I think that's fair. Look,
I think fully unchecked, no conscience, no nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. She's fantastic. I just love her.
we all love Gale Weathers.
She's awful.
Yeah.
But Gale does not give a fuck about any of that, and after a few barbs, attempts to barge her way in. Dewey opens the door, asking Sidney if she'll give them a minute. Sidney gives them the room, and Gale tells Dewey that she knows there's been another murder, which, despite the fact that it's not public information yet, is all over the internet. Almost like the Scream 2 script. But she's annoyed that everyone knew before her. Judy sarcastically says that Gale wants to be part of the investigation, and Gale retorts that she literally wrote the book on this, slamming the door.
She did. Judy, fucking go sit down somewhere. Doors have locks. You don't need to stand there like a fucking Rottweiler. Like, go somewhere.
Hey, don't. I do laugh because every single time she says something along these lines, she's like, she wants to be part of the investigation, Sheriff.
Yeah.
I don't know why it makes me laugh every time. But Dewey tells Gale that she is not a reporter anymore, but Gale stops him. She wasn't just a reporter. She helped him solve this thing 3 times, the two of them together. But Dewey says that since he's the sheriff now, he can't allow her to help him. So Gale says that she's going rogue.
I'm going to blow this fucking case wide open all by myself. And I'm going to be like, I tried to come to the sheriff, but he didn't want my help.
So you're going to burn your husband?
Yeah.
No, he'll still love me.
I'm
It'll be
glad.
fine.
I think it.
Okay,
I'm
I thought it
glad
was just-
somebody else at least understand.
when you wouldn't let me help you, it was just business. Now that I figured it out by myself, it's our marriage now.
Hold on. If she helps and does it and solves it on her own, that's business. But if she's like,
Yeah.
fucking sheriff, that's not business anymore. That's personal.
Okay, maybe I wouldn't do that, but I would. Just him saying that, I would solve the entire case by myself,
And
just on pure spite.
She didn't solve these
She
by
helped.
herself.
She said we did it together.
Not them. What, when he was fucking beat up in the sound room on the floor with the pizza on his face or
Correct.
some shit?
Why was
Or
the pizza on his
yeah.
face? He stepped in a very cheesy pizza.
When are you helping this gal? With your bad hair? What the fuck are you talking about?
The hair was a distraction.
No, get the
Listen,
fuck
it's all part of the Gale Weathers experience.
I do want to point out very quickly, in Scream 1, she stumbled upon everything after Billy and Stu had unmasked. In Scream 2, Mrs. Loomis had her at gunpoint and Mickey was already unmasked.
She had
In
the
Scream
wherewithal
3.
to plant the fucking cameras.
But I will give her Scream 3 because they were on the case, her and Parker Posey, to eventually find out it was Roman.
But Parker Posey figured
But she
that out.
figured, yeah. She saved the film.
So one of the gals, right?
I'm
Yes.
Team Gale.
Look,
I need a t-shirt. I'm Team Gale.
I just want to point out, I love Gale, but she can be a little hyperbolic. I
She's
single-handedly.
like, I did it all
Yeah. And she did try to give Dewey credit that he solved it too.
Right.
Even though he did not.
No.
They're all survivors. If you just said we all survived this thing together, nobody's going to call you on it.
Right, and on the cool, I mean, he's right. He's the sheriff now. It's not about, look, I'm a deputy.
The sheriff now.
He's got the whole department.
That's your retort?
Because it's right.
Just to repeat him in a weird voice?
Oh, so you could take my help when you were a deputy, but now that you're the sheriff, now I can't help you?
Well, because we could go off together and do stuff. Now I'm not responsible for everybody. I'm only
Deputize
responsible.
me.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Solves everyone's problem.
It's just a good verb. I don't know. I don't know what it means.
Do we get a gun in each side of you and then
And then
deputized?
my head, and then
Throw a little water on you. It's like, rise, deputy.
It's like being knighted.
Yeah, I know.
baptism. Yeah.
But Gail leaves the office. However, before bailing, she tells Judy that her lemon squares taste like ass. This was improv,
Right.
which makes me laugh because Dewey immediately comes out and he's like, they don't though.
Don't be nice to her.
Why, Nate? Out of the goodness of her heart.
I knew you were going to have a problem, though. I was like, she's going to be mad
She
just
is
because
so
of that.
clearly trying to take Dewey to Bone Town.
Yeah, of course, but
Okay, look.
Fucking disrespect. So out of pocket. She doesn't even know what a pocket is anymore. And you're going to be like, no, your lemon squares are delicious. Fuck
Look,
you. No.
Nate, whether-
I don't care if that's the best lemon square you ever had in your fucking life. First of all, why are you eating it? Secondly,
Why are you eating it?
It tastes like ass.
First of all, it's a lemon square. I will eat, I don't care who made it.
That's cheating. I'm literally kidding. That's even too far for me.
You had to immediately
But
recant.
don't eat it.
Yeah.
But don't be nice to that bitch. That's all I'm saying.
She's very sweet.
I said what I said.
But Perkins approaches Dewey, telling him that 2 high school students, Jill and Olivia, received calls this morning from the victims' phones. The 2 girls are seated with Kirby in an interview room and are joined by Dewey, Judy, and Sidney, who greets her cousin with a hug and checks in on her.
So Sidney gets to be there for the investigation, but Gail doesn't?
It's her family.
Yeah.
They don't even know each other.
See, that was my thing. The embrace and, oh, how are you doing? If you just said earlier y'all weren't close, I mean, yeah, I could, oh, hey, how's it going? But not the, are you okay? It's like, what?
Well, she did kind of go through some shit this morning.
Yes, but
I think that, first of all, they're all like 17 or 18 maybe.
Yeah.
Where are their moms?
I guess Sidney is maybe the adult in the room that is allowing this to be able to go on.
Not for Kirby or for the other one?
Well, she's like their surrogate mother.
She's a survivor.
Yeah.
She's like,
Right.
listen, she likes horror movies because of me.
Yeah, so I'm basically her mom. No, but I think that the thing with what is going on, like her saying that they really don't know each other.
Right.
But the fact that she even had a small taste of what Sidney has survived for like 15 years.
I mean, I
Okay, all
I
right,
get
all
that.
right.
I just feel like I don't know. I didn't think she needed to be in there. That's all. Because Gail wasn't allowed to be in there.
Nay, we all love Gail. You're like on this like crusade that I just don't understand. But the girls say that they got phone calls, and Kirby's like, it was the voice of the killer in Stab, or, from your life.
You know, that experience you had. Those experiences you had.
You know what it is. But Kirby says that she didn't get a call and asks if that means that she's not going to live as long as her friends. I died in the theater.
That was hilarious, but what Dewey says is even funnier.
Yeah.
Dewey's like, no, maybe.
Why would you say that?
But then he's like, of course not. I don't know. He's like, what am I doing?
He's like, no, I'm thinking maybe.
But with Kirby thoroughly freaked, Dewey has an aside with Sidney and Judy. Sidney says that she should probably just leave town, but Dewey says that she can't. Unfortunately, everyone's a suspect. Judy says with the evidence in the car, Sidney could even be a material witness. She's very by the book. Oh my God.
She didn't read the part about fraternization. Though.
Oh.
What, lemon squares
that
are
part in the book.
specifically against the
This
rules?
is not about the goddamn lemon squares. Like, let's be adults about this.
I get it. She wants, you know what I mean? She wants
him to eat her lemon square.
Hey, I'm going to continue to be a child about this. If we're going to be getting so graphic. But Dewey promises Sidney 24-hour police surveillance, which is better than nothing, I guess.
It is.
Kind of. I mean, in horror films, everybody that is surveilling will get got.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
We already know this. But outside the station, Rebecca gets a phone call and is absolutely beaming about the murders and what it'll mean for her financially.
Yeah. No, not even trying to be like, oh, may God rest her soul. Like, just to flat out.
So I was confused. This is her publicist or her agent? Or,
Yeah.
Why are you not with your client? Why, like,
She's got to be like, more death.
Because, like, everything you see, their publicist stays with their client.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're, oh, we can't take any comments or we don't, whatever. This lady's like, oh, this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It's like, dude, your client's like, somebody's trying to kill them. What
Right.
the
Going
fuck?
through it.
Yeah, she doesn't even care about that.
Yeah.
And I kind of see Sidney as the person who would be like, no, I'm going to go reconnect with my friend. You can
Yeah.
stay
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
No, I get that, but I mean, she doesn't seem worried at all.
No,
she's
no.
thrilled.
Yeah, she's very excited. But she rushes off the phone as soon as she sees Gail leaving the station.
I have to point out too, because we were talking about how everybody's all these new characters are like iterations of the originals, and she's clearly Gail.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but you should like Deputy Judy because she's basically Dewey.
She is, but she is trying to home wreck, and I can't support it.
Look, I don't believe
she's
she's trying to
adorable.
home wreck.
Her character is adorable.
No, she's
Yeah, the lemon square. Don't make me say it again.
Look, Nay, if you say the word lemon square one more time, I'm quitting the show.
About to lemon square up.
Nay, stop.
She is an adorable character because she is Dewey,
Yes,
Right.
basically.
taking herself and her job entirely too seriously to the point where it's hilarious. She is trying to step in on my girl's situation though, and I can't abide by it.
I respect.
Lemon Square.
Hey, that's it.
This is now the unheard episode.
It was never edited. It was fucking
Lost.
the lost tapes. But Rebecca introduces herself and tells her that it's an honor to meet her. She says she watched her show religiously and that Top Story with Gail Weathers was her 90s. Gail says that it's Gail Riley now, and Rebecca goes on about how Gail gave it all up for love, but gives her kudos for falling off the professional map and asks if she has any plans to revitalize her tarnished brand.
Damn.
When that came out of your
Yeah.
mouth,
Yeah.
did it feel like a compliment?
Yeah.
That was so rude.
Yeah.
Rebecca is promptly threatened. And Gail walks off with a still got it.
Yeah.
At the Roberts home, Kirby and Jill watch from the kitchen as Dewey and Sidney chat on the couch. The two girls are joined by Kate Roberts, Jill's mother, played by Mary McDonnell. Kirby says that Sidney is super pretty, but she's sure that she has all kinds of scars. It's like, what the
Cool.
fuck?
I bet her body's fucked.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
What a weird
Yeah,
thing to say.
I didn't even realize how weird that was until I said it again. But it's like, I bet you peek under that.
Yeah.
But Kate, thinking that she means emotional scars, brings up the fact that she's Maureen Prescott's sister, so she has tons of scars too. She's like, no one ever asks about mine though. I'm getting like some resentment here.
They're like, this
Right.
isn't about you.
yeah. It's like, so anyways,
I asked your sister, so how canon is this? Because I don't ever remember hearing anything about an aunt or a niece or
well, I mean, it's
No.
all connected. So I mean,
from this movie.
well,
Well, you know, retroactively.
Retroactively.
They were siblings in the dream.
yes.
Right.
Part of me thought that they were trying to build up a little red herring here.
Right.
With her.
That's what that's
like
kind
she's
of what
like super jealous.
Yeah.
But in the living room, Sidney asks Dewey how he and Gail are doing. He says that he's fine, but Gail, not so much. Small town life, small town husband, writer's block. She asks if they're okay, and he tells her an old saying. Just when you think things can't get any worse, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they get better. Sidney smiles because it's actually a quote from her book.
He read it.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
Yes. After she's been hearing all day. Well, I mean, I haven't read it, but
Yeah.
okay, thanks.
I mean, not right now.
yeah. Appreciate it.
But Dewey says his goodbyes, and Sidney stops him at the door, telling him that it was nice to see him and that they've been through a lot together. And he says that they'll get through this too. I think this moment is very sweet.
Yeah.
I did, but I was like, don't look at each other like that.
Why not?
No.
No, Dewey's the surrogate big brother.
I don't care. Don't look at her that way.
Are you
be
just-
like, hey, pat her on the shoulder and walk away.
It's tough tussle her hair.
Yeah. I was like, all right, champ, and then leave.
I think because, I mean, just seeing them together is good enough.
I know.
But then you realize, like, they do have a lot of
Yeah.
fucking history together.
Yeah.
Her best friend and his sister, dead, you know.
yeah, I
like
forgot
It's
he
just
had a
sad.
sister.
Yeah, they never talk about her in that context.
there is...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's upsetting to me.
Yeah.
I wanted them to talk about it in Scream 2 very badly.
Yeah.
Because it was the freshest thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And they didn't. But there's a deleted scene here in this film, I'll bring it up, where Dewey does talk about it. And
Okay.
it's like, why was that not...
Yeah.
You know, it's just annoying.
It's weird.
But upstairs, Jill heads from the restroom to her bedroom where she is jump scared by none other than Trevor. Pulling an absolute Billy Loomis, despite cops literally being outside, he tells her that her being in a house with Sidney Prescott is like being on Top Chef with Jeffrey Dahmer. No, it's not.
What? Is she cooking people in my kitchen?
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
what you're trying to
what?
say.
What do you know about her? It's like, shut up, Trevor. But Jill tells him that he shouldn't be here, but he says that since she got a call from the killer, she'd be a lot safer with him around. She says that she doesn't trust him, but he says he'll have to just make sure that she does.
That's not how it works.
No,
Yes, you do.
it's like, you will trust me. No, it's not really how it works.
It doesn't work that way.
But then he just starts to touch her face a little bit.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Sidney walks in, interrupting everything. I was like, Jill should have rigged her closet door to block that.
Right.
But she apologizes for interrupting, and Jill says that Trevor is her ex and he's leaving. Trevor calls Sidney the one and only and says it's nice to meet her officially.
Yeah.
Red herring
What?
as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're already looking at this dude because he is Billy Loomis 2.0.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you already got a couple strikes.
Yeah.
He also says you're a lot smaller in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Thanks.
But after saying that he'll pick up a copy of her book, he sneaks out the window. Sidney can't shake the deja vu, telling her cousin that she reminds her of her.
Stop that.
Why?
Well, this
She's
was,
not. I know.
Oh,
she's not. But
she's no Sidney.
This
Yeah.
is literally what
I know,
you know.
but don't do that.
Trevor's like, close call. But she tells her to lock her window and they say their goodnights. Closing the door, Sidney is startled by Judy, shrouded almost entirely in shadow.
I think fucking Sam Neill and Event Horizon. She's like,
But I am home.
sliding into the darkness.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God.
She's like, I'm just making my rounds. No,
No,
you're
you're not.
not.
The deputy?
Yeah.
Yes, you're skulking around in the
Steve
shadows.
Buscemi looking ass right there. Like, get out of here.
She even changed her tone. She's like, I'm just making my
Yeah.
rounds. I'm like, why are
I was
you
waiting
talking
for her
like
to hold
that?
a balloon, looking like Pennywise. It's like, what the fuck?
But she stops and says that Sidney probably doesn't remember her, but they went to high school together. They had the same homeroom. They were even in drama club together, and they were in Peter Pan, the play.
Yeah.
Sidney does not remember at all, but she says that it's nice to see her again. Judy understands, considering Sidney did have a lot of shit going on back then, to say the least.
Well, she did.
I mean, in all fairness. But she says that it's good to see her again, too, and walks downstairs.
So you're the killer.
Yeah.
Yes.
The way that she walked downstairs was hilarious because she
Yeah.
looked like a cartoon character that had a job to do.
Well,
like her arms.
She is a very eager deputy.
That whole scene, I was like, what the? Am
Yeah,
I dreaming?
Well, they literally go from setting up one person to setting up another.
Yeah.
Like they're really wanting you to think everyone's a suspect.
Yeah.
But in front of the house, Perkins joins Haas in the squad car. Haas, working on a crossword, asks a 4-letter word for courage. The answer, guts. Interesting. They then watch as Olivia, who is on their okay list as far as visitors to the house, pulls up to the house from next door. Perkins says he wishes she lived next door to him. I'm like, calm down.
I know she's in her 20s, but that is a high school student.
Yeah, I need to- You're the law?
Yeah.
That was
What's your
something-
badge number?
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you? I was like, dude, that's a high school kid. What the
Yeah.
fuck are you
Yeah,
talking
they're
about?
like,
And then Haas is like, you just said that to a cop. Unbelievable. But inside, the girls are watching Shaun of the Dead on a projector screen.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great taste in films. But Kirby gets a call from Olivia and tells her to come up. But Olivia asks if the Angel of Death has left, but after learning that she's in the guest room, decides to bail for her own house, saying that next door is close enough. She admits that it's creepy around tonight and she's going to be home alone, but the cops are just outside, so hopefully everything will be pizza. Kind of annoyed that Olivia didn't want to come up, Jill calls Olivia on the phone and gives the worst Ghostface impression I've ever heard.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Unfazed, Olivia changes the subject, asking where the Stabathon is going to be this year. Jill doesn't know, which doesn't matter because it's not like she's going to be allowed to go anyway. This is when Kirby's phone rings and she sees that it's Trevor calling, but the second she answers it, we hear Ghostface on the other end asking for Jill. Still assuming he's Trevor, after a little back and forth, and after his repeated insistence that he is not Trevor, Kirby plays along and is like, aren't you supposed to ask me a question or something? And he obliges. How's the movie? Shaun of the Dead. This gets their attention. She asks how he knows what they're watching, and he says that he's standing in the closet. Kirby says Trevor, or whoever he is acting weird, and Ghostface is like, I am not fucking Trevor.
I already told you.
What are you not understanding?
But he tells them to open the closet. Olivia, still on the phone, asks what's going on as Kirby inches her way to the closet door. Jill is not down for this, but Kirby rips the closet door open to find no one. She gets back on the phone and calls him a liar. He responds, I never said I was in your closet.
Yeah. He didn't.
He did not.
He didn't.
The girls watch in horror as, across the way, Olivia's closet bursts open, Ghostface charging at her and stabbing her in the chest.
I was going to say this is funny. It's not funny, but it's funny to me that always, it's not just Scream 4. Ghostface can always speak in full volume on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
But wherever he's at in real life, nobody hears him.
It's true. She was never like, I think I fucking hear someone.
Yeah, there's somebody talking at full volume in my closet.
My thing is, look, at first I wouldn't want to stay alone. And, you know, I get it. She's like, look, I don't want to be over there. I'm right here. The cops are outside. I get it. But this, interaction went on for a minute.
It did.
If I'm on the phone with my friends, or if I'm on the phone with you and I hear you and your sister, or your sister arguing with somebody on the phone or whatever, and I'm right across the street and I'm like, hey, what's wrong? And you're like, so-and-so's acting funny. I'm leaving. I'm not standing in the window. Hey, what are you guys doing over there? Somebody answer me. No, it's like, what the fuck, dude?
And you're already home alone.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean...
And it's only... And if my friends are on the phone with somebody that's trying to intimidate them or scare them or like, hey, I'm going to fucking kill you, it's only a matter of time before they come for me.
Right.
I'm not staying here anymore.
By yourself.
Stay on the phone with me. I'm coming across the street.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Or even just hang out by the squad car.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm going to go kick you with the
literally
cops.
just run downstairs.
Yeah.
Perkins will be very happy.
Yeah.
But Olivia fights off Ghostface as the girls scream, and she gets stabbed in the hand and then in the back. Sidney hears the screaming and joins the girls at the window, but she steps away almost in disbelief, running downstairs to alert Haas and Perkins.
She goes, but Kirby and Jill are like, let's just watch our friend get murdered.
you.
Like, they're just standing in the window.
Well, Sidney's seen a lot of her friends get murdered, so this is old hat. They don't know how to react.
Well, all I can say is the lesson that I took from this is never pass up an opportunity to watch Shaun of the Dead.
No.
Because if she would have just done that,
They'd be fine.
Ghostface would still just be in a closet waiting for somebody to show up.
He's just over there getting angry.
Yeah, it's like, where the fuck is she?
But for some reason, Haas and Perkins are not in their squad car, so Sidney rushes over to the house herself.
So at this moment, now I suspect.
Yeah.
The cops.
Yes, exactly. Ghostface throws Olivia to the bed, stabbing her in the gut, blood spattering against her bedroom door and staining her bed. I want to point out, after the subdued violence of Scream 3, this shocked me.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're in this bit.
Yeah, we're getting back to...
I enjoyed this very much.
Good.
Very, very much. I finished the scene and I was like, all right. I was like, I like that.
You're like, fair play, Scream.
Yeah, I was like, all right, touche.
But as Sidney breaks in, Ghostface slams Olivia through the window, her body dangling halfway out and upside down. Sidney reaches the top of the stairs and hears a door creak open, and so she slinks down the hall to Olivia's room, only to find her disemboweled corpse lying on the bed.
Guts.
Right.
Yeah, from
See?
the crossword.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Very festive.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he dangled her out the window, like blanket. He's like, look.
That seemed a little extra, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is he doing that? He's like, I got your friend.
He's really showing out.
Well,
What's the point? Like blanket. Sidney sinks to the floor as a cell phone rings, and the room is just covered in blood.
Oh, yeah.
It's a rough scene. But she answers the phone, and Ghostface welcomes her back to Woodsboro, calling the murder a preview. She antagonizes him to come after her, but he tells her that not everything is about her. Even though she's done... I know. It's not even about you, dude.
It's insulting.
But he says, although she's done well through all the bloodshed, what about the town she left behind? But he says that he has plans for her, and after a gruesome threat about cutting her fucking eyelids open and shit, he says that she'll die when he wants her to. But until then, she's gonna suffer. And then he hangs up. Jill rushes up the stairs, and Sidney blocks her from seeing Olivia's body. Jill shakes her head, saying Olivia said she was the angel of death.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I'm pissed. Even more now.
And okay, everybody at my house is still alive. So,
Yeah.
Rich, if you want to get technical about it, that's
Just
so
saying.
fucking rude.
So you're saying that is like a 2-mile radius or something?
Yeah.
She's got to throw.
Yeah.
It's like, no, man.
That's fucked up. But suddenly, Ghostface appears behind Jill, slashing her arm before he's tackled down the stairs by Sidney. The two struggle, with Sidney eventually getting the upper hand, literally kicking him in the face. He lies on the ground as Perkins and Haas rush in, and Sidney directs them to Ghostface, but when they turn around, all we see is an empty floor and the shot of an open door.
Ghostface clumsy ass did not have time to silently
I
scramble.
thought the same shit. I was like, he did not get up. Yeah.
Like, no.
It was like 2 seconds.
We didn't hear a peep.
Not at all.
And where were these two fuck faces at the whole time?
They say later.
They do, but
Come on.
it's not a great excuse.
It's not.
But Jill, clutching her bleeding arm, refuses Sidney's help, but is comforted by an arriving Trevor.
Man, fuck you, Jill. Don't comfort her anyway.
Yeah, I'm
he was
already over
just
it.
in the neighborhood.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Weird. It's just enough time to throw off a Ghostface costume. Circle around the house. I'm just saying. But he takes her away with Kirby as Haas and Perkins return, telling them that they found nothing. Sidney then directs them upstairs to what will be a crime scene. And I do want to say, Ghostface coming out of the shadows to slice an arm?
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And maybe Jerry O'Connell.
I was going to say it also reminded me of 2. Yeah, when he slices his arm. And he's like, you guys, took too long or whatever.
It's like, why are you
And he looked real fucking guilty.
You're Ghostface. But later that night, the entire crime scene crew is there, as well as media and a crowd of assholes blaming Sidney for another death.
I was like, who's literally out here heckling her?
They were. They were like, it's your fault, Sidney.
What the fuck?
Jill, with her arm wrapped, apologizes to Sidney for what she said earlier. No, you don't forgive
not
her.
accepted. Absolutely not.
We then see Dewey admonishing Haas and Perkins, but they say that they were literally in pursuit of Ghostface around the houses, but lost him. Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
They apologize too, and the soft-hearted chief lets them go.
It it honestly made me laugh because they're like, we feel terrible, and he's like, all right, get out of here. Like they're 2 boys that broke a window playing baseball.
Yeah.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me,
He all
dude?
tosses their hair.
Yeah.
It's like someone is dead.
Yeah.
You were like literally at one
That
job.
girl's
Yeah.
got it up there, dude. It's like, all right, get out of
We
here.
feel awful about it, boss.
Run
Oh,
along.
boys, get out of here.
Little scamps.
Threw him a nickel. I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Go get an ice cream.
But Dewey watches as Olivia's body is loaded up into the ambulance. Now, there was a deleted scene here where Judy talks to Dewey, and I think it was something that must have been cut because Judy says that Olivia had a pet door placed around her neck,
A pet door?
like the garage door.
Right.
And so I think that must have been something that they cut from that scene, so they had to cut this scene.
Ah, okay.
And this is when Dewey talks about Tatum, and he tells him...
So Olivia's
Yeah.
Tatum's stand-in.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he is very, he gives a very heartfelt little speech about Tatum,
Yeah.
and he says that they're in the middle of a Woodsboro remake.
Damn, man, they should have kept
So
that.
I wonder
Yeah.
why they cut everything out that had to do with the other movies. Like, that's really weird.
This one bothers me the most because I feel like I just want to hear about Tatum.
Right.
Yeah, well, because we don't get that. Like,
No.
especially from Dewey. Like,
yeah.
if it's referred to, it's in the context that Sidney's best friend got killed. But, like, that was literally his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It is.
Yeah.
Ghostface is like, it's not all about you, Sidney.
That is hilarious.
No,
to
that's
me.
funny.
It's like you don't need to take her ego down
No.
a peg, too.
He's like, blah,
you
blah,
do.
blah. Jesus.
Sydney.
But Robbie and Charlie arrive at Woodsboro Community Hospital, standing behind a swarm of media as Robbie gives an update to all of his Hall Pass viewers. He says their local legacy, the Stab movies, are coming to life, which is, it's already happened. That's why there are
Yeah.
Stab movies. But
He's like, again, though.
But they're suddenly joined by a very camera-ready Gail Weathers Riley. She asked them politely, then very harshly to turn off the camera for an off-the-record conversation.
Classic Gail.
Oh, yeah. She says that since they run the cinema club, they probably have an insight to the film buffs at the school. Then she makes an offer. They work together, 2 generations of journalists, and they are immediately down. But she says that they can give her insights into the goings-on at Woodsboro High, and she can give them a celebrity visit to their club. They're like, what about Sidney, though?
Ouch, man.
That's pretty fucked up.
Talk about a hit to the ego. What about your friend, though?
Yeah, everyone's taking a hit today.
doesn't she compare herself to J.K. Rowling, which A, did not age well.
No, it did not.
And B, Sidney's not a fictional character.
No, she says that Sidney's Harry Potter, which is not fair.
You didn't write her into existence. I'm just like, is this how Gail sees the world? That she's
I guess
literally,
so.
That was hilarious.
She's like,
to me.
I am Sutter Kane.
Yeah.
My favorite color is blue.
Oh, fuck. But yeah, she shouldn't compare herself to J.K. She's not that much of a piece of shit.
No, nobody's that much of a piece of shit.
But inside the hospital, Sidney is given good news from Dr. Orth, played by Mark Aaron Bjerkel, telling her no broken bones, but to take it easy. Yes, Dr. Orth.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, I thought that
As
was
in
very...
Steven?
I guess so. And he's not even named. I only
Drew
know...
Barrymore's boyfriend in the first one. Steven Orth.
really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I don't know if like he's his
obviously it's not
brother or...
him.
No,
Yeah.
he was promptly gutted.
He tells her to take it easy for a couple of weeks from what? Trying not to get killed?
Yeah, I don't
Do you
understand.
not know what just happened, why I'm here?
He's like, now don't be doing that
Yeah.
anymore.
And it's so weird because he does say that she's fine.
Yeah.
But take it easy.
Yeah.
Like, fucking...
So did you read my chart? So you know?
Are you a real doctor, man?
But Sidney bumps into Rebecca, who has even better news. She got her a 3-book deal with the publisher off the back of this, and after she's cleared, she's got tons of TV spots lined up, too. Sidney is annoyed, especially when she finds out that Rebecca hasn't even read her book. She levels with Sidney, telling her to embrace and use her victimhood to her benefit. But after shit-talking Sidney's fans and kind of creaming over all the potential dollar signs...
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to be doing this in front of her.
No, dude.
Read the room.
She gets fired. I mean, and she's earned it. But a very annoyed Rebecca rides what is clearly a haunted elevator to level 6 of the parking garage. Her mood lightens up, telling herself that Sidney will call her tomorrow and probably apologize. No worries. But she gets off the elevator, and before she can reach her car, her phone rings. It is Ghostface, this time politely asking for Sidney Prescott. He's like, Sidney Prescott, please. It's like, all right. But she asks if she can take a message, and Ghostface tells her that she is the message. She starts fast walking to her car, lying that she's in the hospital with Sidney right now. But when she accidentally sets off her car alarm, Ghostface takes notice.
Yeah.
He says it sounds like she's in a dark and deserted parking garage. But he's happy to put her in the hospital, in the morgue. I was like, Ghostface.
Yeah, okay.
So she rushes to her car, checking the back seat once she gets inside. As she reaches for her keys, shadows dart all around her, and in typical horror movie fashion, the engine sputters when she tries to start it. She notices her hood is open, and as she looks closer, Ghostface jumps down face to face with her at the windshield. She screams for help as he brandishes a knife, but as she looks away for just a second, he disappears.
I laughed. Again, I know it's not funny, but he's holding cables in his hand, I guess to remove all doubt that he's the one that fucked with her car.
It's like, that was me, baby. But she very foolishly steps out of her car, looking under it, instead of, using her phone.
Yeah, that she was just on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hate that she dropped her keys and was just like, oh, they're lost. Then the same thing. Why are you getting out of your car? Yeah, he's jumping on and he's whatever. He still has to get in.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, set your alarm off. You see the cars going by and she's screaming at him. Set the fucking alarm off so somebody will stop. Oh, wait, you can't because you threw your keys on the floor and you don't want to look for them.
Yeah, there are multiple things she could have done.
Yeah.
And she did none of them.
Like, what are you doing?
Maybe she's not a fan of horror movies.
I guess.
She's like, I didn't read your book. I never saw Stab.
I don't know what a knife is. I'm just...
But the alarm blares suddenly, and she just runs away, heading back toward the elevator. She makes it to the door, but the locked knob breaks off. As she turns around, she is met with the blade of Ghostface's knife right in the gut. She sinks to the floor. Outside, Dewey is holding a press conference with a crowd of media. Unfortunately for him, Gail pops up with a question, asking if he's noticed a pattern emulating the original Woodsboro murders.
Gail really came with her tape recorder and her power blazer like she was just going to blend in
Yeah.
with everybody else. Come on, that's
No, it's a
fucking
lot.
fantastic.
Is it?
She's like, Gail Weathers here. Like, he's like, no, dude, you're his fucking wife.
Yeah.
But don't you feel bad for Dewey? He's like, Marge, not here.
He's like, does anyone else have a question?
Yeah, but it should make you happy because he's like, later.
Yeah.
Yeah. See the Lucille Bluth
I
wink.
know,
That's
but-
all I ask. I know you got to put on airs, but when we're home, I want the fucking tea.
Well-
That's not.
Well, but
That was in my vows.
But he gets back to his prepared remarks, promising to bring this whole situation under control. Ghostface, with excellent timing, hurls Rebecca's body off of the parking garage, sending her falling onto the roof of a nearby news van as the crowd screams and sparks fly.
So how long ago was the murder from this? Because they didn't hear any screaming. They didn't hear the alarms going off. They didn't. They're just like, oh my God. Anyway, I'm Sheriff Riley.
Yeah, good Lord. Fucking, that's why Hitchcock didn't like to go on location. But it's funny to me to imagine Ghostface just holding the body like, okay, I gotta pick your spots. Pick your spots.
He's going to say something.
But Dewey sends officers to the garage, and of course they find nothing, and he climbs up onto the news van to check Rebecca's pulse as she lies in a pool of blood. Gail's like, all under control, huh, Sheriff? She tells him that she has a lead, and he doesn't, so let her know when he's ready to be back on Team Gail.
My note here is she's the fucking worst. I love her so much.
At least you acknowledge.
Yes.
I know she's terrible.
I was my notes. Is that what this is all about?
Right.
You want to be the center of attention.
She wrote the book on it.
She's trying to write another book.
She
now.
wrote them all into existence. You could, pay your respects.
Yeah. Do you read Gail Weathers? I do also want to point out that this death of a falling body reminded me of Cece from Scream 2.
Yes, landing on
right.
that. Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, they're really, like, and this one was very subtle because you kind of have to know they weren't like, just like Cece from, which I appreciated.
Which would have been too much.
Yeah. But the next day at Woodsboro High, we're treated to a meeting of the Cinema Club. I did laugh because the first poster we see is The Hills Have Eyes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So Wes Craven.
There's the people under the stairs one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good picks here. There's some awful ones too. I won't. There's someone we talk a lot of shit about on this show.
Well, anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Just looking at the posters, like the establishing shots of the room, I'm like, I would literally be in this club.
Absolutely.
The Thing was up there too.
Yeah, it was.
I would definitely be in this
Yeah.
club. But calling the meeting to order, Charlie welcomes their guest of honor, Sidney Prescott. I'm like, Gail is right there.
I was like, I don't know who the bitch that came in with her is, but
But this is Sidney. Trevor is there too, fucking glaring at Sidney.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? But Gail does stand there and, as I said, gets no introduction at all. Sidney comments on Robbie's camera that's on his ear, and he says that in the future, everyone will be live streaming their entire existence.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well.
he's not wrong.
That there is a lot of shit that's said in this movie that is oddly.
Yeah.
But Charlie offers that that's the one thing the killer is missing, filming the murders. Robbie says that would be the new current way to do it. Film your murders and upload them on the internet. Trevor looks like he's mentally taking notes more,
Yeah.
red herring.
Yeah.
Although Mickey filmed stuff in Scream 2.
Oh yeah.
Well, why are you acting like Mickey was innocent?
Well, I'm not saying he's innocent.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get, that's a
They're
fair
like,
point.
no killer has ever done this. I'm like fucking Milky. Mickey is pissed is what I was trying to say. We had cookies earlier. I just wanted.
We did have cookies earlier.
But Charlie says that it would make your art as immortal as you. But in unison, they both say that they're not trying to implicate Robbie.
Now Robbie's the murderer.
Yes. But when asked who they think the killer is, Charlie says it has to be a Stab fan, working less on a Shriekwell and more on a Screamake. Copyrighted terms, by the way. Robbie stalks the room with his camera on, which Kirby shows off to Sidney through a live feed on her phone. Charlie says when it comes to modern horror, the unexpected is the new cliche. And Robbie says that you got to grab them with the opening sequence and the kills have to be more extreme. So this film has been following the rules.
I love this. I mean, I know Randy unfortunately isn't here anymore, but this is like so his like stand-in, you know, where it's like, yeah, these are the rules to the sequel and da-da-da-da. Like, I just love that we, even though we lost him, we've kind of kept that. Because there's always film nerds.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it being kind of like the next generation, they have a perspective that Randy never got.
Right.
Because he died in the 90s.
Rest his soul.
Yes. No, I'm sad again.
I know. But Charlie says the reversal of the old rules become the new standard as audiences grow more savvy. He also offers that the only way to survive a modern horror film is to be gay.
I'm trying to think of evidence.
I don't know that there is evidence
Like
of
what
that.
film is being referred to, but I can't. I don't know.
Got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're saying that poking fun at another horror trope. I don't know, because it's the reversal. Because the horror trope that does exist, the bury your gays trope.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Which
if they're
is bullshit.
trying to.
Maybe. My mind immediately went to them establishing the virgin survives. Everybody else dies, but the virgin survives. So I'm like, is this the new? I'm pretty well versed in horror, but
I drew a blank.
this was a little
I
left
didn't
field
understand.
for me.
I was confused. I know Kevin Williamson is gay, and so I'm like, I feel like he's trying to say something,
He's like, can we start doing this? Can we though?
but I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It went over my head and I was sad.
Yeah, please explain it to me. And Nay and JP.
Yeah.
No, just you.
Yeah, I'll tell them. But Gail asks how they know the killer is going the remake route. They say the killer is clearly following the structure of Stab and, in effect, Scream, with the first murders mimicking the first murders in 96, all leading up to a party, or as Charlie calls it, the guaranteed third act main cast bloodbath. They ask if any parties are going on tonight, and there is at least one, Stabathon.
Hold on though, because Gail's like, are there any parties happening tonight? And Charlie's like, there's Stabathon. Like, that's not literally the place for the killer to strike. He just mutters that, like, there's this. I don't know. It's probably not this, but.
And I think what makes me laugh so hard is it's your event.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was going to say, he's throwing it.
He's doing it. But
That just made me. I'm like, it's called Stabathon. Like, that's fucking hilarious.
Is it?
Yes.
But to explain Stabathon, it's the Cinema Club's yearly celebration watching all 7 Stab films back to back. And of course, when asked, they refuse to cancel it. They also refuse to disclose the location, earning a fuck you from Gail as her and Sidney leave.
Well, it's funny because Robbie is still live streaming all of this to the internet.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, oh, we can't tell you where it's at. And she's like, guys, we're a team. Tell me.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're live streaming this to the internet.
But the funny thing is, like, they had a deal.
Yeah.
They got what they wanted.
Yeah.
Like, so...
So she's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sidney's just like, all right.
All
She
right.
just leaves.
I guess I'm leaving with Gail.
Well, when they leave, he's like, that was awesome. What's awesome? She thinks you're a fucking creep?
Well, but Gail said fuck you to them.
That would be awesome.
I don't care who you are. That's like, come on. I did something stupid now. You know what I mean?
now you look dumb.
I would feel
Yeah.
stupid. But also Gail Weathers said fuck you to me. But that night at the Roberts house, Jill is annoyed by the constant police presence. She grabs a snack of chocolate milk and string cheese.
Sure. I was like, shut up. She's like, ew, they're like trying to keep me alive. Like, shut the fuck up.
It makes me laugh because she's down here and she's like, I feel like a prisoner. And then she calls her friend and she's like, I feel like a prisoner. It's like, you just have one line.
No, I have the exact same note. She keeps saying it's a cell.
That's what it is.
And then she's like, back in my cell. I'm like, the joke didn't land.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
stop trying.
Sidney didn't laugh downstairs.
Stop
That's
trying to
a
make
weird
fetch
way
happen.
to say I'm safe.
Yeah, seriously.
The people give a shit
Yeah.
about me being alive. Fuck you, Jill. I'm sick of it.
I am too. And I did hate her snack. I thought that was gross. I'll eat some string cheese. I'll eat some chocolate milk, but I don't think they go together.
Yeah, not together.
I hated her snack.
We're just nitpicking now, dude.
Fuck you and your bad jokes and your fucking nasty snack.
But Sidney tries to level with her. She says that she genuinely knows how she feels, and she says that she's so sorry about what happened to Olivia. Jill responds that she is very sorry for what happened to Sidney's publicist. But she asks how Sidney handles all the attention, and Sidney says that she just tries not to think about herself. She just focuses on people that she cares about, and everything else just works itself out. Instead of being a little asshole like she was the night before, Jill acknowledges that Sidney did save her life, and she wonders if she would have been able to do the same.
I feel like that's her basically saying I would not have saved
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened.
I mean, but shit, I wouldn't count on it. But Sidney says that she hopes that she never has to find out. In the window, however, Sidney notices a reflection that is very Ghostface-like, But when she turns around, it turns out to be nothing. On commentary, Wes Craven said they decided to do this on the day.
Yeah.
And they said in about 10 minutes, we got the shot done. And that was pretty cool. But upstairs, Jill, overlooking Olivia's boarded up and taped off window, is on the phone with Kirby, who has just arrived at Stabathon. Now, this is when she delivers the joke again.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my notes, it says, okay, again with the cell joke.
Yeah.
It's like, literally get it. I feel like, I don't know if this is commentary on how desensitized this generation is, or if it's just something that they didn't take into account. But nobody is acting like they just saw their friend get brutally murdered.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Kirby's like, well, I'm here at this fucking party. It's like, what? You're not traumatized?
Yeah.
See, and that's the other thing is that there was a deleted scene
Right.
where Kirby talks to Robbie and Charlie after the cinema club meeting.
Right.
And they kind of coax her into coming to
See,
Stabathon.
I would have
Yeah.
appreciated that because it's just like, well, another day. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
Olivia who?
what the fuck?
But Stabathon is basically this massive party in and outside of a barn.
Charlie called it a small event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's also a liar. But Trevor is also there, who gets flipped off when he tries to say hello to Kirby. Inside the barn, we swoop past several groups of partying teens to find Gail sneaking her way inside from a lower floor, slipping on a ghost face mask, and very awkwardly vibing with those partying teens.
I have so much here. Why did she wait till she was inside to put the mask on?
I don't know. Well, we had to know.
Yeah.
I was laughing because it's so fucking ridiculous. And then her little dance that she's trying
Yeah.
to fit in. Like, a high schooler, you are not. I
No.
can hear your joints popping from here.
Well,
Stop.
it's her doing the thumbs like Elaine.
Yeah.
I think that girl's in my English class. I was dying. It was so cartoonish.
It
that
was.
I just, oh God, I was dying. It's like she creeps around, looks over, puts them out. Like, what are you,
Yeah.
You're better than you're Gail Weathers.
Well, she's a little rusty.
Yeah.
But Gail slips away from the group, hiding a camera, much like she did in the original Scream.
Those big ass cameras.
Yeah, I know.
That's my note. Nobody's going to notice that big ass antenna sticking off of that camera.
It's literally on a stand,
Yeah.
and like, it's a lot, dude. But in the screening area, the crowd chants, "Stabathon!" over and over until Robbie and Charlie take the stage to applause. They welcome everyone to Stabathon and go over the drinking game where basically, thanks to horror tropes, everyone will be getting trashed tonight.
This sounds fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was watching this and I was like, maybe not me right now, but like me back then, I would fucking love to go to something like this.
But can we talk about how long a 7-film marathon is going to be?
yeah.
Strap in because we will be here for 14 hours.
I agree. This does look like fun, and if maybe when I was in high school, but
Yeah.
again,
I think by movie 4, I'm ready to go.
it's like I want to get out of here. That's a long time.
Like, well, it's 8:30. Better start wrapping it up. But the screening finally begins, and Gail just very blatantly walks in front of the screen, setting up another camera underneath the projector.
She does that in front of
Yeah, I
everyone.
know. Yeah,
She does. And she gets pelted with popcorn, and she flips them off.
yeah.
It's just so stupid.
But she heads up to a loft, taking off her mask. I was like, Gail Weathers?
Yeah.
See, maybe they just could have done that. It's a mysterious ghost face with fantastic hair.
Yeah.
And then we see at the end,
That,
oh my
in
God,
fact-
it's Gail.
Or she could have just wore like a chicken on her head with glasses or something.
Like on Friends.
Yes, like
I got to tell you, coming here today, I did not expect a Friends reference from
From
JP.
you, yeah, me neither. That's
that's all I've
hilarious.
seen on commercials. So,
Fair, enough.
yeah.
Fair enough. Me too.
And she dances too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
With the thumbs.
yeah.
But she sets up one last camera when she reaches the rafters and heads back to her car, totally proud of herself, watching the feed on her laptop. She even begins writing a chapter of her new book, speaking into a tape recorder about how she's going to solve yet another. But then she watches as each camera on her screen is covered by an unseen assailant. She uses the controls to move the last remaining camera around to reveal Ghostface himself before that camera, too, is covered.
You just set those.
Right.
So Ghostface was watching. He's like, I'm going to fuck up her day.
That one.
Not only that, though, why did you watch that whole time? When the first one went down, I'm putting on my mask and I'm running back and saying, oh, no, you don't, motherfucker. Well, she had to
That's
go.
true. They can't know that she's Gail.
Yeah.
I'm jigging my way back into the party.
Someone's going to be catching these thumbs. But she immediately calls Dewey, giving him the address of the party and the intel that the killer is here and clearly about to get stabby. She's like, they're trying to outdo the original. What's more meta than killing kids at a stab marathon? Dewey's like, what's more what-a? Gail's like, look, I heard one of the kids say it. Okay?
I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I don't know. But she's like, just get out here. She says that he catches the killer. She gets the story. Win-win. He throws the whole, I thought you were going rogue thing in her face, and annoyed, she just gets off the phone to go fix her equipment.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but now is not the time to be petty.
Nay.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying that. That's how you know I'm an alien. I should have been
God damn it, I knew it. But Dewey flips on the siren and speeds off to the barn. Back at the barn, a somewhat tipsy Kirby tells the boys that she's very impressed with the event. But not really. But kind of. As the kids lose their shit to every single action on screen, Gail sneaks back up to the loft. Outside, Dewey has arrived, calling for backup from Judy and watching Gail's laptop as she fiddles around with the camera. She then notices another webcam in the distance, one that is not hers. From Gail's camera, Dewey sees Ghostface appear behind Gail, and he screams as if she can hear him. Ghostface stabs at Gail, but misses, and the two tussle around some stacks of baled hay. He eventually grabs her, but she's able to shake him off. Almost mimicking the violence on screen, though, Ghostface grabs a crawling Gail, pulling her back to him, raising the knife, but before he can stab her, Dewey arrives, firing a shot towards the loft. Ghostface, for some reason, which is made clear later, kind of, stabs Gail in the shoulder before she kicks him off, tumbling down from the loft down to the floor below.
Dewey is a terrible shot.
No,
Oh, yeah.
He's a stormtrooper all of a sudden. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
I was like, what?
He had a clear...
You're a sheriff.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
It's apparently not a prerequisite of being the sheriff.
Nobody said I had to know how to shoot.
No.
Not only that, when she's checking her cameras, she like puts her eye to it. You
Yeah, I
did
don't know
not.
what she-
Yeah, you did
don't
not
know.
see him damage any of this equipment. Why
No.
would you check to see if it still worked? He
good
literally placed it down. You watched him do it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I was like, what the hell?
She's going through a lot.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Now I'm defending Gail for no reason. But Ghostface disappears out of a side hatch as the kids run away screaming. Dewey checks on Gail, who holds her bleeding shoulder, and tells him about the other camera she found. This time, he's making the movie, she says.
Ghostface went out that side door 10 seconds ago, and Dewey is Gordon Ramsay. Damn.
Yeah.
You could have
Well-
tried to run after him. That's all I'm saying.
All I know, and all he knows, is that after dealing with Ghostface for 15 years, if he doesn't want to get caught, he's not going to get caught. Right? He will reveal himself when he feels like it. But back at the Roberts house, Haas complains about having to watch Sidney and company because the cops on this detail always get killed in the movies. He says it sucks being a cop on film unless you're Bruce Willis.
I love the movie rule talk. I mean, always. And seeing it from like this cop perspective, I thought was really funny.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in a movie with Bruce Willis?
I think he was, if I'm not mistaken. Did he live? It makes me laugh, though, because like you're saying, like we have all these horror rules.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're living their own life out here.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
And you know, they're watching the movie and being like, oh, that cop's fucking dead. You know what I mean?
But Perkins disagrees, and they joke a bit about tropes before Perkins hits Haas with the "I'll be right back" to do his rounds. He tenses up like he just broke a mirror or something.
Yeah.
Because,
I shouldn't have said that.
No. But Haas shrugs it off. New decade, new rules. He says you might come back and find me dead. So in good faith, Haas heads out for Perkins, but Perkins tells him to be careful. Now alone, Perkins nervously checks the back seat and jumps at the sound of an angry neighborhood cat. Inside the house, Sidney opens the back door to fix a tilted wind chime after she hears it chiming.
Why is that your priority right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Why
leave
are you
it.
outside?
Just leave it. And also, I did point out, this is because of Final Destination, there's a porcelain owl on the shelf. Death omen.
All right.
Thought that was neat. But worse than the chime, Haas notices an open window on the second floor and calls in to Perkins to see if it was open when he did his last check. Unfortunately, Perkins doesn't answer. Back with Sidney, wind blows past, like super Final Destination style. And this gives Sidney a bad feeling. She just puts the wind chime down and heads back inside, locking the door.
Well, dogs start barking too. The
Yeah.
dogs are like, get your fucking ass inside. You know there's a killer out
Like,
here.
goddamn, we have no choice.
They're just glad it's not Michael Myers.
But Haas rushes back to the police car, finding Perkins slumped over in the front seat. As he reaches for him, Perkins springs to life, scaring the fuck out of Haas. They laugh, and Perkins says that he should have seen the look on his face. But out of the darkness, Ghostface bursts into the frame behind Haas, stabbing him in the spine.
Not Adam Brody.
Very sad to see.
It is.
I was so upset. He was so underused
Yeah.
He was.
in this. I was devastated.
Where's his vest?
He left it in the... I don't know. But Haas falls to the ground, and before Perkins even understands what's happening, Ghostface stabs him right in the forehead.
That got me a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, thinking about the knife going through your fucking that got me. And not a lot gets me, but I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
And for a Scream movie.
No, yeah. To do that takes 540 newtons of force to penetrate a skull.
Uh-huh.
That's 121.397 pounds of force to penetrate a knife in someone's head.
Are you telling me Ghostface is the Terminator?
I'm saying that probably wouldn't happen.
Oh, okay. He's like, this is my scientific way of saying that's bullshit.
Well, because I was like, damn, that's fucking nuts. I was like, I wonder if you could really do that. I mean, you know, the eye, the temples, whatever, the soft spots.
That's soft.
Right. So I was like, he's getting him right in the head. So it did take me a minute to find it, but I finally found the answer now. And it was like, you got to be pretty strong to be able to do that. That there's ER stories where people still have pieces of knife in their skull from getting stabbed in like the front of the head.
Good Lord.
So it's like the forehead is very hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, damn, how strong? I was like, 121 pounds of pressure.
That's a fucking...
I was like, I mean, not saying that it's not doable, but that's a lot. Like, that's...
And it's funny you say ER stories because we watch as Perkins like holds the wound and gets out of the car.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, that's bullshit. But Wes Craven based this on an actual ER story.
God.
Yeah, I bet.
So, I mean,
I can't remember what it was that I had got on, but they were like, oh no, it can't happen.
That's fucking horrifying.
That's why I had to look it up, because some answers was like, no, that shit is real. Then everything else was like, no, it can happen, but it's like you've got to put a bunch of force behind that.
I am so bothered. He didn't deserve that.
No, he did not.
Fuck no.
But he spills out of the car, stumbling and swinging blindly as Ghostface just stands there watching. Perkins falls to his knees, and the tense music that was building ceases. He mutters, "Fuck Bruce Willis," before falling over dead. I hate that.
Yeah,
this was my come on moment.
Aaron Kruger,
Because-
why?
Okay, who's the bigger villain, Aaron Kruger or Freddy Krueger? Because that moment again. Nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing because something just did get me.
Right.
But very little makes me like fuck, like physically cringe. Like, oh my god, can you fucking imagine that? And then him blindly swinging. It was a very like horrific moment.
Yeah.
And then I mean, just to undercut it with, I just don't.
That.
It really ruined the moment for me because that was a very gut-wrenching experience.
I
for
was
a minute.
enjoying it, and that happened, and I was like, "Fuck!" Now I'm right back to where I was with you.
Just why?
It was so gruesome. I think that's
it
probably the
was
most
cool.
gruesome thing that we get.
Until you did that.
Yeah, why? Why? I'm upset.
I remember watching it in the theater, and as he was swinging, I was like, "This is grisly."
Yeah,
and then
it's horrible.
Yeah.
But then it just immediately gets ruined.
Come on, Kruger.
I love how we blame him, but what if
Could have had literally nothing to do with it. Kevin Williamson's like, it'd be really funny
if he said, "I've always hated Bruce Willis." But now enjoying a cup of tea inside the house, Sidney hears the chime again. She picks up a knife and heads to the back door, but it's only Kate bringing in some groceries.
Groceries? Like, do you not understand what's happening right now?
She's not allowed to shop?
No, not in the middle of the fucking night. No.
They needed cereal.
She does. She's got like 3 bags of shit.
I was like...
Nobody's taking this seriously.
Yeah.
Jill's like, I'm back in my cell. You know, right, guys?
Why are you laughing?
Your lives are in danger, you stupid asses.
I think the thing that gets me is it's not even important. It literally was cereal.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever needed cereal.
Can I be honest here? I forgot that lady was even existed.
In all fairness.
She's so what's the word? Expendable.
Yeah.
Like
I was like, who's that
completely
again?
unnecessary.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. Jill has to have a mom.
Yeah.
But Kate drops off one bag, then nonchalantly says that there's one more in the car and she'll be right back.
No, you bitch.
Sidney should have grabbed her by the shoulders. But instead, she just starts putting the groceries away, but is interrupted by the phone ringing. When Jill doesn't answer it, Sidney picks it up. And of course, it's Ghostface. He tells her that her only skill is surviving, but what good is surviving when everyone around her is dead? He then tells her to turn on Channel 6, which she does, and it's a news broadcast about Gail's attack, saying that she's currently in the hospital in serious condition.
Serious condition?
Yeah, I was going to say, that looked like a shoulder wound.
Well, it's like, I'll walk it off.
She was doing a lot of dancing before that.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
It's like, your dancing days are over. You better retire those thumbs. It's like, you mean I'll never dance again? But Sidney turns off the TV and Ghostface just cackles.
Just an asshole, man.
He tells her friends are good and all, but it's the family ties that run deep. She begs him not to hurt them, but he says that she can't save them. All she can do is watch. He returns to cackling.
I disagree though, because I feel like if something happened to Dewey or Gail, that would hurt Sidney more than her aunt that she barely knows, and Jill, who's honestly a little fucking piece of shit.
It's like, I don't even know you, dude.
I mean, I know that that's her blood family, but I feel like she's definitely closer, especially with Dewey.
I would agree. I mean, JP was referring to it. We didn't even meet these people till Scream 4. So
never even had mention of them.
No. Fair point. But Sidney ditches the phone and runs upstairs to check on Jill, but finds her room empty. Thanks to some online communique on Jill's laptop, she sees that Kirby came by earlier and Jill had snuck out. She goes to tell Kate, who tries to call Jill, but gets no response. I don't want to be mean. Kate's acting is really stilted.
Yeah.
It's strange.
It's very odd. And she is an Academy Award nominated actress.
Maybe the character is on Xanax.
I don't know.
I took it as maybe they were trying to fool us again. You know what I mean? Make her act a certain way, like she's just, you know what I mean? Trying to trick Sidney into going somewhere or whatever. And I was like, if you're trying to make me think that she's the bad guy, I was like, I'm not buying that.
I did see a deleted scene where it's right after Olivia's body's taken away.
Right.
Jill and Sidney are headed back to the house, and Kate comes out apologizing, and she's like, I don't even know what happened. I'm so sorry. I took a sleeping pill, and then I also had some wine. I'm like, what is going on?
What are you, Nancy's mom? What the fuck?
So
You're a drunk.
I don't know what that is about. But Sidney says that they should alert Haas and Perkins, but Kate says that they aren't out there anymore. Sidney's mouth says, let's go. But we hear her say, let's get to Kirby's.
But her mouth says, fuck.
They open the back door, but when they see Ghostface reflected in the wind chimes, they try to run out the front.
John Paul's big.
Why is he a wind chime?
He's not a wind chime.
What the fuck?
Your wind chime is not made of mirrors?
No, it's made of wood.
No.
Okay.
Well,
fancy
excuse me.
It just looked really funny.
No, it looked hilarious because there was no reason to get a reflection that clear.
Well, it was a good shot, I thought.
I was just a little confused. I was like, what the fuck?
No,
he's right there.
He's like, I hope they see me in the wind chimes. That'll get him. But when they open the front door, Ghostface charges and they slam the door, his knife and arm stuck in the door frame. Sidney gets Kate to slide down and brace the floor from the bottom, and they finally get the door closed, but as Sidney starts to take off, Ghostface gives Kate a special delivery through the mail slot. A knife in the back of the neck.
That was rough.
Yeah, her eyes like, oh.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that'll
I mean,
wake you up. It's better than Folgers.
Yeah, she's, the wine and shit wore off.
Yeah. She's awake now.
Oh, yeah.
I did enjoy this kill.
Yeah.
Because it could have been bad. Like there'd have been a thump at the door and then her be like, get up, Kate. What's wrong? You know what I mean? Like she's just there and then it's like, oh shit, something's wrong with her.
Oh, yeah.
And then she moves her and then the knife just goes away.
Yeah.
That would look pretty cool.
I definitely agree that it was a good kill. My only thing is I just wish I cared more.
Yeah.
And I do. Okay, so she does run over to cradle Kate.
Right.
And Kate says to tell Jill she's so sorry and then slumps over dead. I'm like, why? What did you do to...
I'm being stoned all the time.
I guess.
On sleeping pills.
I thought you told her, tell Jill she ain't shit. And then just died. And then just died.
Sydney's like, gladly.
I will be sure to tell her. But Sidney snags Kate's keys and rushes outside, bumping into Deputy Judy. So again, a little bit of a red herring.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Skulking in the shadows again.
I'm doing my rounds.
Yeah.
Remember Peter Pan, Sidney? What the fuck is going on?
About to go to Never Never Land. That's what it's called, right? Or that's Metallica.
Yeah, it's both.
No,
It's both. They stole that from Peter Pan? But Judy asks where Hoss and Perkins are because she couldn't reach them. Sidney leads her to Kate's body, and after checking a pulse, Judy calls it in. She turns around to Sidney, but Sidney's gone. We see her speeding out of the driveway and down the road in Kate's Cadillac. At Woodsboro Community Hospital, Gail is being wheeled in with Dewey at her side. He tells her to never go on her own anymore. It's the two of them together forever.
Can we just get back together for real? I'm sorry. I love them so much.
I know they both listen. And
Courtney, David, Davey, Court and Davey. Come on, guys.
Get back together.
You crazy kids. You can make it work.
I believe in you. But she asks him to promise her one thing, that he'll catch that motherfucker. He promises, and after a quick I love you, he leaves. At Kirby's sweet-ass house.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is about the Scream franchise, but people are fucking rolling in it.
Yeah.
And honestly, Dewey's house, he's the town sheriff, but that house was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
All of their houses. Remember in Sydney's old house, that
Oh, yeah.
sprawling backyard and like,
Yeah, I
like,
don't.
What are you?
You remember
jealous.
Tatum's house with fucking Ghostface skulking? That was so funny. But at Kirby's house, Kirby, Jill, Charlie, and Robbie discuss the ruined Stabathon event.
Real quick, how much money did Red Bull put into this movie? Because there's cans throughout the movie all the time. Somebody's holding a Red Bull can in the room.
Uh-huh.
And there's one on the table.
Well, you didn't see the title. It said Red Bull presents
a
Scream
Red Bull
4
film.
Yeah. But the kids attempt to figure out the motivation of the killer and his next moves based on their remake theory. After Charlie notices Kirby's film collection, the two bond over horror trivia, sparks clearly flying. Robbie's kind of fed up, though, saying that the cops are probably going to bust down their door, shut down his website, they're all dead. Just then, a wild Trevor appears, agreeing with Robbie.
Yeah.
Certainly not invited by Kirby, but walking through a door they stupidly left unlocked.
Yeah.
Trevor claims that Jill told him to come over. Jill calls bullshit, but realizes that she left her phone in Kirby's car and dramatically saunters off to go get it.
You just warned them about the front door.
Uh-huh.
Stuff's going on outside. There's a killer out. She's going to the car by herself.
Right.
Nobody's.
It's fine. I'm sure
Yeah,
she'll be
nobody's
fine.
following
They're
her.
like, it's unlocked.
Yeah.
They don't like her as much as we don't.
Go ahead, Jill.
Yeah, please. But Trevor dickishly asks Robbie and Charlie what it feels like to be accessories to a crime. I'm like, it's not the Fire Festival. Like, how are they liable? They didn't invite Ghostface. Like, I don't understand. But Robbie takes it very seriously, saying that his life is ruined. Trevor asks who sent the text from Jill's phone, but nobody cops to it because they don't even believe it happened. Kirby says his phone is supposed to be missing, but he says he got a new one, which she calls convenient. Now, I do not remember this being a plot point.
Yeah.
That Trevor lost his phone.
I don't either.
Well, because remember, before they watched their friend get killed or whatever, that call came from Trevor's phone. Mm-hmm. She was like, it's Trevor, I'll deal with him.
There was a deleted scene where he visits Jill in the hospital.
Yeah.
And he's
like, I was with the cops all night. See,
his fingers.
Yeah.
Well, he does he tells her that he lost his phone. So I don't know if this is trying to refer to that.
Right.
But he also does the what do I have to do to he does the full Billy Loomis. But with this comment from Kirby, Trevor storms out.
Right.
Back at the Roberts place, with the crime scene investigators in the background, Judy calls Dewey and fills him in on everything. Kate is dead, Sidney has fled, Jill is missing, and they found Haas and Perkins dead in their cruiser a few blocks away.
So everything's gone to shit, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Dewey flips a Yui and heads in that direction.
Nah.
I tried. At Kirby's place, Charlie and Kirby watch Stab 7 together, the room filled with some tension of the sexual variety. Mm-hmm. While Robbie drinks alone in the kitchen. Probably a Red Bull cocktail.
Yeah.
He heads outside with a bottle and begins live streaming as we hear Kirby ask Charlie to sit next to her. Robbie lets his hall pass viewers know that Charlie might be getting laid tonight, which is something he deems to be geek history.
What a horrible friend.
Oh, he sucks.
Why are you doing that?
I also was a little confused. Why do they keep calling themselves geeks? I don't understand what
I guess
Is
they're
they like film man?
Yeah, it's a film.
know.
Like,
I
mean,
Well, Randy was a geek.
yeah,
I don't know.
If you like movies, you're a geek.
yeah, we're all geeks.
What?
It's like, well, this is the first
Right.
time
Yeah.
hearing of this.
Sorry to break it to you. But Robbie hears a noise and fearfully turns around, accidentally whacking his head on a hanging potted plant. His camera falls off, and he doesn't realize that he puts it back on backwards. Back inside, Kirby sweetly tells Charlie that now would be the perfect time to make a move. He's like, me? Why don't you make a move? Not realizing that she just did.
Oh yeah.
As they lean in to kiss, their lips barely touching, Trevor busts in asking if they've seen Jill.
Oh my God, Trevor, get the fuck out.
Kirby, annoyed, says that she's upstairs, but Trevor sits down to watch Stab 7 and acts like an absolute tool, ruining the mood and causing Charlie to storm out.
It's so
Yeah.
bad. Like, how do you not read the room that you just walked? And then
How
after
did-
he leaves, he's like, did
Dude,
I
I
interrupt?"
just fucking, yeah.
How did you not see that? They were like right in each other's
No,
face.
they were literally
Yeah.
like
Yes.
a millisecond away from kissing. I was so mad because I've been shipping them since the first time we saw
Yes.
them interact.
I don't know why, but this whole movie, I'm like, do it for us.
Charlie,
Like,
Charlie, come on.
I want them to get together. But Trevor, like you said, is like, did I ruin something?
Yeah.
And he's in total disbelief when he realizes he did. Kirby's like, who invited you?
Yeah.
And he leaves the room to go find Jill. Outside, Robbie drunkenly continues his live stream. He stumbles onto the porch, finally realizing that his camera is backwards, but when he fixes it, Ghostface stands directly in front of him in the open doorway. He stabs Robbie in the chest and in the back, and Robbie falls to the floor. He pleads for his life, reminding Ghostface of the rules, saying that he's in fact gay, if it helps.
Yeah, if it helps. I was like, shut up, Robbie.
It does not help, and Ghostface stabs him in the gut. I don't understand why.
Yeah, I was confused.
Someone tell me, and I'll tell Nay and JP. But back inside, Kirby turns off the movie. Realizing that she's all alone, she goes to head out the front door, but is stopped by Jill coming downstairs, saying that she's found her phone and that Trevor is a liar.
It's been 5 whole ass hours. It took you that long to get your phone?
It's like, we're already watching Stab 8.
Yeah.
But oddly, Trevor, who was supposed to be upstairs with her, is nowhere to be found. Robbie and Charlie are missing too. This is when they open the front door and are surprised to see Sidney standing there. She tells Jill that they need to leave now, but when they turn around, a bloody Robbie staggers toward them. He tells them to run before collapsing dead. Behind him, Ghostface is chopping wind in their direction. I don't know. He got very far away. He's like doing wind sprints like Get Out. But he chases Sidney and Jill upstairs, grabbing onto Sidney before she kicks him in the face again, literally launching him back down the stairs. He flies.
I laughed so hard because she like barely kicks him.
He's dramatic and clumsy, man. But the girls hide in Kirby's room, Sidney forcing Jill under the bed and creating a diversion on the balcony. Ghostface busts in, following Sidney across the rooftop, with Sidney pretending that Jill is actually running off to go get help.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty neat trick.
Yeah.
Pretty neat trick. It's a pretty smart trick. That was really neat. But But as she makes her way around the rooftop, trying windows along the way, she calls Dewey for help on the phone. Just as he says he'll be there and alerts Judy and all units to head to the address, Ghostface fucking clotheslines Sidney off the roof. She hangs on until he goes to stab her fingers and she drops down, taking off.
She's like, I've fallen off a higher roof.
This feels better than the back of a boat.
When she calls Dewey a minute ago, like you said, is this when we see him driving?
Not yet. I think this is right here.
Oh my God.
We then see the sheriff's department, basically, all of them.
All 5 cars.
Sirens blaring and on their way.
I don't know if this is the part where you physically see him driving, but his emergency driving posture fucking killed me. He's got both arms raised up. Like he's like a little kid. Like it really tickled me. I love doing it.
Well, he's driving harder.
He was driving very hard.
Leaning into it. But Sidney heads back inside, bumping into Kirby, who says that she tried to call 911, but someone cut the landlines and smashed the router. As soon as they hear footsteps, they head downstairs into like a basement or garage or something. I run out of names of these houses. There's so many fucking rooms.
Yeah.
This might be a room I've never heard of.
We're too poor to know what this room is.
Yeah, this doesn't make me feel bad for them dying.
Oh, no?
No. It's like, man, you got this
You're
big
rich.
ass one. Yeah, you'll be all right.
Buy your way into heaven.
Yeah.
You should. But as soon as they get down there, Charlie appears outside, banging on the window with a bloody hand, begging to be let inside. So, as we said, this is the only Scream film that does not have a red right hand in it.
Oh, okay. I see.
You see where I'm
Fair
going?
point. Yeah.
Charlie's red right hand.
Yeah. At this point, I'm suspecting Kirby for the first time because she's like, I called the police. Let's do something smart and come. Like the fact that she's making good decisions.
Right.
I'm like, that's Ghostface.
Anybody being smart, you can't trust
Yeah.
them. But I do love Kirby.
I love her so much. Even if she is
Ghostface.
I was going to say, if she is Ghostface, I'm like, yes, bitch, you do it. Yeah.
I will watch a franchise of her being Ghostface.
All the killings. It's all right.
Yeah. No, I support you.
Just from her perspective. I want to see what she's about. But Sidney tells Kirby that if she can't trust Charlie, don't let him inside. In tears, Kirby says that she can't let him in. Almost on cue, Ghostface appears, smashing Charlie's face against the glass. The lights go out, and when they come back on, Charlie is duct taped to a chair, exactly like Steve Orth in the original film. Like, exactly. Ghostface calls Kirby, telling her it's about to get wet in here tonight. He doesn't say it.
Just like that.
Just like that. But also, it's all Sidney's fault.
Yeah.
Sidney bails to go find Jill and tells Kirby to keep Ghostface on the phone.
Sidney knows. Like, you
Yeah.
know that it's not smart to split up. And who gives a fuck about Jill anyway?
Yeah, I mean, let her look.
If it was Kirby upstairs,
No,
go get
yeah.
Kirby.
Yeah,
But fuck
she's
Jill.
under the bed. She's fine.
Yeah.
But Kirby begs Ghostface to let Charlie go, but he starts to quiz her on the genre. Kirby aces all the answers, connecting slashers with their weapons of choice, but unfortunately she gets the next question wrong, which I totally disagree with Ghostface.
Yeah, I was like, nerd. Everyone gives it to Psycho.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, come on, man.
Fuck you, man.
I mean,
that wasn't fair.
I mean, I understand he's the one with the knife,
Right.
but I will say that Peeping Tom had a very limited release in the UK, and I believe didn't make it to the States until 1962, but does not matter. Does not matter. But Kirby begs for one more question, and he asks, name the remake of the groundbreaking horror movie in which the villain, but before he finishes, Kirby names like every fucking remake ever.
No, it's incredibly impressive. But I was like, let him finish the question.
Yeah,
like, I'm scared.
don't do it. This is when everything goes silent, and without confirmation that she's correct, she rushes outside to help Charlie. She untapes him, and he rises up, and we see that he's holding a knife. He tells her this is making a move before stabbing her in the stomach.
He didn't need to do that.
I
No.
was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
I was not.
I was.
I was rooting for them, and I could not have been more sad when I saw this happen.
Yeah, I was devastated.
Yeah,
well, for a second, when he, like I said, when I was suspecting Kirby for a second, I was like, Kirby and Charlie. Okay.
Yeah, I could get with that.
Yeah, but then, no, don't be stabbing our girl. Don't, no.
No.
No, I didn't care for them as soon as I met him.
Wow. Contrarian over here.
All right.
But Kirby clings to Charlie, and he says that after 4 years in school together, she notices him now. It's too late.
At this point, though, I'm like, Woodsboro does not seem like it's very big.
Right.
Where are Dewey and co? Like, where is everybody? They've been racing toward the house
Yeah.
this entire time.
Well, he's driving hard. He's trying to get there as quick as he
That should
can.
make him move faster.
Yeah, well, he's new to it. That's why his shoulders are like that. But Charlie stabs Kirby again, and she falls to the ground. Now, I will die on this hill. Kirby is not dead.
100%.
She is bleeding, but she is still moving a lot.
Right.
I read that there is a deleted scene where she was confirmed to have survived.
Well, hell yeah.
But it got deleted. And then Wes Craven himself was like, we never saw her dead.
No, you said it got deleted?
Yeah.
Not in here, it didn't. I'm pointing at my heart.
That kind of sucks because that makes me think now they're going to bring her back to be the bad guy. You saying that?
She won't be the bad guy.
No, she's Kirby. She's the best.
She's Kirby.
She's the best of us. But back inside, Sidney searches for Jill, knife in hand. Seeing she's not under the bed anymore, she calls out to Kirby, only to be grabbed from behind by Charlie. He puts a knife to her throat, and Sidney asks where Jill is, and Charlie says that nobody gets away. Sidney then breaks away immediately. And she runs to the open front door, only to be intercepted by the knife of Ghostface, stabbing her in the gut. The mask comes off to reveal Charlie's accomplice is Jill.
Wow.
Womp womp. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised that it was her, only because she has not had a personality so far.
Mm-hmm. They didn't know who I was till I wore the mask.
I was really disappointed that she got to stab Sidney.
Yeah, well,
I'm not that I want to stab her.
Like it should have been me.
No, I'm saying Sidney is, for I would say a lot of people our age, our final girl.
Yes.
And the fact that she gets stabbed and this bitch is the one that did, like, I'm like, really? I don't know. I hate Jill.
We all hate Jill.
We do.
I'm not gonna lie, I really wasn't that surprised, only because everybody else acted like suspicious, but she acted like she didn't give a shit. Like
yeah,
her
we
whole
never.
time,
She was never a red herring.
Yeah, the
That's
whole
a good
time
point.
she's just there.
I think
she's like myself.
Yeah.
Right, guys?
Wink, wink. Lucille Bluth. There were a couple moments that stand out now in retrospect.
Right.
Whenever she said that she was sorry about Sidney's publicist.
Right.
Because she fucking killed her.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a few other moments that pop up that on a second rewatch, you're like, fuck me. They were trying to tell me the whole time. But the thing is,
it's very subtle though.
Yeah.
I was genuinely surprised and upset about Charlie.
Yeah.
I think I was a little surprised about Jill. I don't want to say I was underwhelmed because it's not like a fucking Scream 3 situation.
Right.
Where I was like,
who the fuck
is that guy again? But I think that I like what they're doing with this.
I agree. I just wish Jill was more interesting or more. I mean, just more anything.
Do you want me to
more
tell you?
More innocent, more anything.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is, though, is that if it was played by a more charismatic actress,
right,
we'd be like, oh shit, it's Jill.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Yeah. I was
surprised, bitches. I don't know.
I was more surprised with Charlie than I was her. Her, like I said, I was like,
Charlie
okay,
hurt.
I knew it.
Charlie
hurt a lot.
But him, I know we had talked earlier, but when he was in the chair, I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And then after when he stabbed Kirby, I was like, you motherfucker. I was like, oh,
I hate you.
Yeah.
First of all, how dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jill removes a camera from her mask as Charlie grabs Sidney. Their plan to edit the footage together and upload it, making it all traceable to Trevor. Now, Trevor would have been super obvious as the killer.
Right.
But there were so many damn red herrings with him that I honestly, after Charlie stood up, I'm like, damn, Charlie and Trevor are the fucking...
Yeah.
You know?
It's just so funny watching it again after knowing the twist, and Trevor's just some fucking idiot. That's just, that's just there.
He's just this creepy doofus.
Yeah. Oh, Jill invited me over.
Where's my phone?
Yeah, I'll elaborate more later. But
Okay.
But speaking of Trevor, Charlie pulls a tied up Trevor from a pantry, Neil Prescott style.
Isn't he dressed like Neil Prescott?
He is. Like, they really went all out.
Yeah.
And again, where's her father? I know she's a grown woman now, but...
Are you talking about Sidney?
Yes.
That's another deleted scene.
Oh.
Look, whenever,
Get a business trip.
yeah, right. Fucking jerk. Then he go to Paris when he's like,
Yes.
fuck that.
It's like, you're off to college now, babe. I'm sorry.
None of my business.
Figure it out.
But he, I feel bad segueing into this, but Dewey tells Gail that Neil has passed away.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wow.
And he says this is the first time Sidney's been back in town since her father died. But that, of course, was on the cutting room floor.
Right.
Why do you have to die?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was neglectful anyway. Like, just
You just have him in
gone.
Paris again. But Charlie throws Trevor to the floor, and he begs for his life as Jill just reads him for filth. She says he's the kind of guy who fucks you, dumps you, and doesn't even make you famous. Then she starts kicking him. Again, I do not like her acting at all in here.
No.
Yeah. Next thing in my notes is, wow, you're still so annoying. Like, I really thought, like, a heel turn, like, she's going to be like, yeah, you thought I was some fucking little girl. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no, she's still like, man. Like, when she kicks him, I was like,
Like,
oh,
come on, man.
no,
I don't know if
stop.
she's just not evil enough or what the
I
deal
don't
is.
know.
I don't know.
But Charlie hands her a gun, and as she holds Sidney at knife point, she tells Trevor that she is not the girl you cheat on. She then proceeds to shoot him in the crotch.
That's a lot.
Yeah, not in the dick.
Yeah,
No.
don't do that.
That's just cruel.
Yeah.
I mean, after all you've done, this is what...
Yeah.
This is where I draw the line.
But aren't they tying it all to Trevor? Like, they were trying to tie it all to Neil?
Yeah, well...
So Trevor went on this killing spree and then laid down and shot himself in the dick?
Well, what is the story is going to be, which
Oh,
we'll
they,
get to.
Right,
they got
right.
into
Exactly.
a struggle.
And then she shot him in the dick.
And then he shot himself in the dick.
But she then shoots him in the head. Honestly, a mercy killing at this point.
Right.
Right.
And she then asks if Sidney is ready for Act 3.
See, you, like you said, you had this dude here, or just, are you, one of y'all said he's just dumb, he's just in the movie.
Yeah.
Why did you waste this character like that?
I think because his whole point was to be the red
The
herring.
red herring. Yeah.
But
He's
he
just
never
some-
was. He was just a creep.
He's just some high school dude who cheated on his girlfriend. Like,
Yeah.
that's all he is.
That was something else I wanted to point out is I think Trevor cheated with Ginny.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of the film, she's like, is this Trevor?
Yeah.
And that's probably why Jill killed her.
Ah, okay.
So that, I mean, that makes
so
sense.
it all,
Yeah.
it all adds up. But Charlie drags Trevor's body away, asking if Sidney has caught up yet. Keeping with the remake idea, Trevor is the Billy Loomis stand-in, but Jill and Charlie are the innocent victims, this generation's Sidney and Randy. Jill says with all the murders on tape, it's going to be bigger than 1996. They'll know fame that she never could have even dreamed of. Charlie says this time, though, Randy gets the girl, and they share a kiss. Now, I'm just thinking about Kirby and getting mad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you could have had Kirby.
Yeah, I'm punching the air right now. But Jill says that she was born for this, and Sidney asks how she could even do this. Jill goes off, recounting the years of living in Sidney's shadow as a member of the family, but not anymore. Sidney says that they'll slip up because they always do, but Jill disagrees.
I feel like this could have been like a really cool incentive that, like, no matter what I did, it was always what you had going on that was important. Like, this really could have been a cool origin story, for lack of a better term, but it's just giving Marsha. Like, it's still so annoying. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, when you get to the end of the movie and you want to hear like the killer's monologue or whatever, I'm like, just somebody fucking take her out, please. Charlie.
Hey, does Charlie have anything to say? Why is Charlie doing this? He's like, peer pressure. I'm far too sensitive. But this is when they get in their fake stabbing positions, Billy and Stu style. Charlie readies up for a sweet shoulder stabbing, but Jill plants the knife right in his heart, betraying him.
I laughed a little bit because after she stabs him, Charlie goes, the heart.
And he's like, that wasn't the plan.
Not my heart.
Yeah, the heart.
That just made me laugh.
But Jill tells him that being a soul survivor will be much better for her, and instead of becoming Randy, Charlie dyes the Stu to Trevor's Billy. Sidney asks how Jill could do this to her friends, but Jill tells her that she doesn't need friends. She needs fans. I think this is the part where she's like, don't you get it? I'm like, dude, are you slappy? Like, what the fuck is going on?
That's what this is about, dude.
Yeah. But she says it's not about killing Sidney, it's about becoming her. She even killed her own mother to stay true to the original story. She says it's sick, but sick is the new sane. She's not down to live a conventional life, and she says you don't have to do anything to be famous anymore. You just have to have fucked up shit happen to you.
Sick is the new sane. I feel like we're accidentally stumbling on these like things this and last week.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, we're scaring me.
Are we all right?
It's an accident.
I do want to say, like, this is a super bold point that's being made here, and it's, again, oddly, like, prescient, because now, like, all you need is one good TikTok,
Right.
and you're fucking dancing with Ellen or whatever, and she's beating up her staff. So
I was going to say, which is truly where everyone wants to be.
I wrote this script in 2018.
We had no clue.
We had no idea. But she tells Sidney that she has to die. Those are the rules. New movie, new franchise. She says there's only room for one lead, and Sidney's ingenue days are over. She then stabs Sidney in the stomach twice, blood pouring out, and Sidney falls to the floor.
I feel like Sidney is just like letting this happen.
I wrote down, I said, Sidney could have punched her in the face several times.
Anything. We've known through 3 movies now that this bitch can scrap. Like, she can hold her own. But she's just like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, why are you
and-
just standing there listening?
And why are you doing this?
You missed the heart.
Yeah, seriously. She's like, the stomach. But Jill goes into frame mode, wiping the gun, sliding it over to Charlie, freeing Trevor from the duct tape, scratching her face with his dead hand, and pulling out a clump of her hair.
I think she should probably start taking vitamins because her hair should not come out that much should not come out that easily.
It was a big clump.
Yeah.
But she then uses a wall to stab herself in the shoulder before running face first into a glass frame.
That was the fucking greatest thing.
It's honestly like really funny. Like,
Yeah.
remember in Liar Liar?
Yes.
When Jim Carrey beats the shit out of himself in the
Yes.
bathroom? That's all I was thinking of.
She is a big movie buff. But somehow that's not enough. So she stumbles to her feet, crashing through a glass coffee table. As the police sirens approach outside, she falls down next to Sidney, mimicking her exact body position. This was very creepy.
Very. I totally agree.
I like that a lot, though.
Yeah, that was...
It's like, this is too much.
Yeah. She's beating herself up, and I'm going to lay down right
Right.
here.
Yeah. And put my hand just
Curl
so.
it just a little bit.
But Dewey and the officers rush inside, finding all the bodies. Jill is taken away by ambulance, dozens of reporters calling her name among the flashing cameras. One even asks, Jill, how does it feel to be a hero?
A hero?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm like, is this proper etiquette? Like, she's like bleeding out, and they're like, blah, blah, blah. Jill, like flashing shit in her face.
well, I mean, the media does like to get their shit.
Yeah.
Is that what I think a camera sounds like?
Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. What are you, kids in the hall? Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. That's a deep cut. But in a hospital room, Dewey checks on Jill, and she sells her story like no other. She says that if she ever writes a book about this, she wants Gail to write it with her, considering their matching wounds.
She's pouring it on a little thick.
A little bit, yeah. But she says that she wishes Sidney was still alive, and Dewey tells her the good news. Sidney is in the ICU, and she just might pull through. Now, Jill almost gives everything away.
Yeah.
What?
She's like, what the fuck? I mean, great. That's
But
fantastic.
I stabbed her 3 times.
But the exact moment Dewey leaves, Jill sneaks out of her room. She takes off the equipment when the shit beeps.
Yeah.
She's like, no, it's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it. This is more important. But Dewey goes to check on Gail, telling her about the book idea. Gail immediately catches on. How did Jill know she was stabbed in the shoulder?
Yep.
Smartest person in the franchise. Dewey's just like, yeah, y'all do have matches.
I hope you do write that book together. But Dewey rushes out, and we see Sidney waking up in her room only to be shit-talked and choked by a pissed-off Jill.
I'm sorry. Is this Haddonfield Memorial? Where is the staff?
They're in the hot tub.
Yeah, no shit.
Fair enough. And neglecting the babies.
Absolutely, yeah.
Got it.
But Sidney fights back, and the fight spills all over the room. Jill reopens Sidney's wounds during the fight, and with some newfound superhuman strength, throws her against some glass shelving. JP's like, just what the fuck?
You look checked out.
Yeah.
Well, I get it. She did all that to herself, but she's still
She's still
fucking
hurt.
hurt.
Yeah,
That's true.
still
You know
got
what I
stabbed.
mean? Yeah.
She's not invincible from...
No.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. She's not like, oh, damn it.
Yeah. You have wounds too,
Yeah.
lady.
Her shoulder should be fucked.
Yeah.
She did throw herself through a glass table.
Yep.
She did.
But whatever. But we see Dewey rushing down the hall, and he calls Judy for backup. Jill hides in a closet, and as soon as Dewey gets in the room, she whips his entire ass with a bedpan.
Dewey. She hits him like fucking 4 times.
Yeah.
She does, but this wouldn't be a Scream film without Dewey getting his ass kicked. But she knocks him out completely and steals his gun, annoyed that her perfect ending has been ruined.
The only thing, though, you're not walking out of here looking like a victim.
Yeah.
No.
There's you fucking ruined it.
She could have very easily, just waited until later.
Yeah.
My thing, when Dewey's talking to her and he's like, we might have to help her remember everything. I thought he was lying and Sidney was fine.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And she already told him everything and he was going to be like, yeah, bitch. And then she finds out she's like handcuffed to the bed or something.
Wait, is that Dewey saying
that? Sure. That's what everybody calls her a bitch in my version.
Uh-huh.
But
You're worse than Aaron Kruger.
But he was being authentic and saying she might not have any memory.
Mm-hmm.
So when you just wait and see, she said that I did it. She must have got hit in the head really hard. Like nothing else.
They must have fucked her up.
I'm just saying, why would you risk fucking
No,
You're risking it all.
That is I don't know. But Gail rushes in only to have the gun pointed at her. Judy is soon to follow after Gail, tackling her over and behind one of the hospital beds.
Was that a save tackle or was that a tackle?
Nay, it was a save tackle.
All right, 'cause I was-
What do you think? She's like in cahoots with? She's like, oh wait, I'm with Jill now because
She's like,
Here's
we
my
were
chance.
we were in Peter Pan together. She didn't remember me.
this is for the lemon squares. But Jill tells Judy to throw her gun or she'll shoot Dewey in the head. So on Gail's insistence, Judy rises up slowly and eventually tosses her gun. After telling her not to do anything stupid, Judy is promptly shot. And Jill's like, don't fucking tell me what to do.
Wasn't she shot in the hand?
Whenever I was in the theater, I was like, did she get shot in the head, the chest, the hand?
Yeah,
I don't know.
She got shot, period.
Period.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
But Jill then tells Gail to stand up, and she makes her way over. But she's like, get your skinny ass over here or whatever. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Fuck up. Like, oh my God, she's so fucking annoying. But
I don't think that was in your notes.
no, it wasn't. This is off the dome. Nobody in the hospital hears the gunshot?
No.
Nay, they're in the hot tub.
All of them?
Already told you. It's a big hot tub. But unbeknownst to Jill, Sidney is readying a defibrillator, so Gail asks for one final word. Jill's like, what? Please? Gail says no. Clear.
I wrote no clear before she said it. And risking it all for a pun. I
it's
adore
great.
her. I love it.
And I did laugh because Jill's like, clear? And Sidney repeats it, clear. She rises up and puts the paddles to Jill's temples, delivering the shock. Jill falls to the floor, and Sidney tells her that she forgot the one rule of remakes. Don't fuck with the original.
She's right.
Good point.
Yeah.
But Gail and Sidney check on Dewey, and we watch Jill grab a piece of glass, slowly advancing on the group.
Like, because nobody can
Yeah.
see her.
Yeah.
She's like, if I'm very quiet. But Dewey says he didn't even see her coming. She was standing right behind him. Sidney says they always are and grabs a gun from the floor, shooting Jill in the chest, finally killing her. Judy, thankfully, is also alive and in an odd bit of comedy faints.
Yeah.
She's like, I was wearing a bulletproof glove.
But Dewey calls it in, saying that they've got a new suspect as Gail runs off to get them some help. Sidney, to her dead cousin, says, I don't know about you, but I feel a whole lot better.
So is she the villain? She's trash talking this corpse. I'm
Sidney always gets her little one-liners in.
Well, I mean, she's shot a few corpses in the brain
She-
just
no, she
just
has.
for the thriller. So, I mean,
Did Jill look superimposed in this shot to you?
no.
It looked
looked weird, right?
It did look weird.
I might have to go back.
No.
Like, was Jill claymation or was that?
She was Belial.
Yes.
I may have been watching Basket Case.
But outside the hospital, news reporters eagerly await word from Jill Roberts, the sole survivor of what they're deeming the Woodsboro Massacre reboot. They all hail Jill, and as the camera presses in on her face, they call her an American hero right out of the movies. We cut to black, and the credits roll. So, what did you guys think of Scream 4?
It's a Scream movie. I mean, it's what I expected. You know what I mean? It's better than the third one. Like I said, I feel like this is comedy horror. Like there's a lot of the kills. There is, like I said, the few kills I did like some of the kills. I did. The whole movie wasn't shit to me, but it's
The whole movie.
I didn't care for Jill. I didn't care for Trevor. I mean the new Stu and Billy, I guess they were supposed to be, the camera guy and the long-haired guy, whoever they were supposed to be, I didn't care for them. I mean, a lot of these people were just kind of, like I said, I feel bad that guy was in the movie just to try to throw you off and then just gets shot in the dick in the head. It's like, dude, really? What? You could have achieved the same thing by having her like the dude with the camera. I mean, you know what I mean? What is it? Why did you need to bring in these extra people?
Because
nobody cared about the
Billy.
No, there didn't.
It's like a remake.
No, there didn't. You just could have just not done that. But and saying all that, I did enjoy parts of this movie.
That's
so
good.
It wasn't a total like, oh, this is stupid. But you know what I mean? Because it's not. It's a Scream movie. It's what I expect from watching Scream. So in saying that, I did have a good time in watching this one. It's better than the third.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Don't say anything else.
Don't push him.
End the show right now. Until next time. What did I think about it? It's a Scream movie.
Yeah.
I love it. It was, I would say, because you said we were going to go back and change our rankings, so I just went with knee jerk for every single movie. I would say this is probably my favorite sequel as its own sequel, because I do really like to. But it's probably the strongest sequel. Maybe. I don't know. Even as I'm saying that, I'm like, I don't know.
You sound like you're...
Yeah, you sound very sure.
The only thing I would want more of is I would want more of the original cast. I would want just more characterization. I loved Kirby.
Kirby's the best.
Oh,
Kirby is the absolute shit. I feel like I didn't really get a chance to really like anybody else except Charlie. I did like Charlie.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck about Jill. Like, I really wish I would have cared about her or her mom. Because that would have been, wow, she fucking killed her aunt. Like, that would have been, you know, whatever. Again, it's not perfect, but it's Scream. Like, if this was an hour and 50 something minutes of just ridiculous shit, but I still got Sidney, Gail, and Dewey. All right, 8. It's just my rating system is going to be skewed on these because I just love them so much. So, I mean, yeah, I really like this one. I don't know why I haven't watched it like I've watched the other ones. I mean, obviously, I couldn't before it came out, but since it's come out, I haven't really revisited it, and I really need to throw it into the rotation because it's a lot of fun.
You really should. I mean, I didn't realize how much I liked this until I think we had watched it one time.
Yeah, that was the only time I saw it, I think.
Shortly before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So that's why you forgot it.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember anything pre-pandemic.
No, but I kind of came away with it with the same feeling. Like, I think this might be my favorite sequel.
Yeah.
But I mean, even saying that, I'm not sure because
I know, because it was saying that, I'm like, I'm sorry too.
Yeah, I know. Because and that I do want to kind of give a shout out because I think we were talking to Joe and Trace from Horror Queers a long time ago, and I think one of the first episodes that Trace ever listened to of ours was Scream 2. and he's like, you guys could have been a little kinder. We could have been, in all fairness. But I think in retrospect, having rewatched all these films for this, I've come away with even more of an appreciation for all of them.
Yeah.
Even 3 for what it is.
That's the thing is Scream 3, Come For Me or Don't, is not a good movie.
Right.
It's not fucking good. Okay. I like it. Those two things can exist at the same time.
Yes.
So when we're rating it, I'm like, this isn't a good movie. I can't give it a good score because it's not good. But you know, now it's fucking 2022 and I like trash. My name's Reneé and sometimes I like trash. So yeah. Do you want to redact or whatever those now?
Sure. Before we get into our scores for Scream 4, we can go ahead and give our revised out of 10 red herrings for the first 3 Screams.
Yeah.
So for me, on a scale from 1 to 10 red herrings, I would give Scream 10 out of 10 red herrings Scream 2, 8 out of 10 red herrings. Scream 3, 6.5 out of 10 red herrings. And I'll get to number 4 after you guys. I almost went right through. And for 4. No, but please, go for it.
I'll be quick. I don't want to change any of my scores.
Really?
At all. I like I said, I feel like, and here's the thing, like, I like Toxic Avenger. You might not.
Mm-hmm.
I like, you know what I mean? Tremors. You might not.
Right, for sure.
I get it. You know what I mean? The liking it for what it is, but these movies are just not for me.
That's
like
fair.
That's fine.
I'll watch them if your sister wants to watch them, but you're never gonna hear me say, "Hey, put on Scream or Scream 4."
I'm gonna come home early from work one day and catch him watching Scream.
You're gonna catch me watching the other guys or Thor Ragnarok
No,
or
that-
I mean,
that's accurate.
more likely.
Yeah, that's accurate.
but I mean, I can't give them a higher score because, like I said, I'll stay in the middle of the road. You know what I mean? Scream 1, I gave a 5.
Mm-hmm.
I feel comfortable in the middle of the road. 2, I gave a 5. Same thing, right in the middle. 3, 3.5. I'm fine. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and trash the movies because they're not bad. They're just not my taste. You know what I mean?
No, that's totally fine.
There are things I do enjoy about them, but like I said, as far as me being like, hey, let's watch Scream, you're not gonna hear me say that. That's not happening.
I'll be quick too. I'll go back and retroactively. I thought because we had gone back and given it a 9.5, I thought I was locked there, but since I'm not,
Yes.
it's absolutely a 10. Scream 2, I gave an 8.5, and Scream 3, I gave a 7, which it does not deserve. But I don't care. Like, I don't care.
You're following your heart.
I just really was like,
The heart.
Yeah.
the heart. I'm like, what's the first number that comes to mind? I know that especially Scream 3 is not a good movie.
Right.
I still have fun.
No, yeah.
And there are moments that are so egregious that they physically make me angry because of the implications that they have on the whole franchise.
Right.
I still have fun. It's still got Sidney, still got Gail, still got Dewey.
That's all we need, really.
That's really it.
But I guess that can lead us into ratings for Scream 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think this film is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Genuinely could have been a great ending for the franchise in general if they didn't want to make any more.
Right.
I think it ends a little bit better for me than it would if they had left it on Scream 3.
For sure.
On the positive side, I love all the callbacks to the previous films. The commentary on horror in the state that it was in 2011.
Yeah.
As well as society and this desire for fame. I also love revisiting our characters. Kirby as a new character is a revelation.
Yeah, we're so thankful for Kirby.
Yeah.
We very much appreciate Kirby. I just think this film's a ton of fun. I think that the violence is well placed. I think that a lot of things they do, a lot of choices they make is in clear reverence for the franchise and for the fans. Like, we pick up on stuff that they don't outwardly, call attention to.
Yeah.
But on the negative side, I think there's a little bit of misplaced humor.
Fuck Bruce Willis.
Yeah, fuck Bruce Willis. And I do think that some of the stuff is a little on the nose as far as like the callbacks.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm Stu or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Wait, we got it.
Yeah. But I just flat out love this movie, and it's absolutely going to be in my rotation.
Yeah.
I honestly can't wait to watch it again. I watched it 2 times in the past 2 days. I might watch it tonight. I don't know.
There you go.
But on a scale from 1 to 10 red herrings, I am going to give Scream 4 8 red herrings out of 10. Genuinely love this movie, and I will now open the floor to you.
Mine will be short.
All right.
I won't lie, I did have a lot of fun, us discussing the movie and whatever. And Kirby is the fucking, like, that's...
No, she's the best.
I gave her a full ass point just for her.
Good.
But I did get the warning at the beginning of the movie. Hey, look, this is what it's going to be. But I feel like it's too full of itself. I don't, like you said, with the stew, with the, hey, I'm this and that.
Yeah.
Hey, we're recreating the murders. Check it out. I know. I'm watching the movie.
I've seen the other one.
I've seen the other. This is the same shit. It's like, you're just doing the same movie again. I don't know. What do you want me to do? It's like, how do you want me to be excited for something I've seen 3 times already? What the fuck? And the immunity for the characters. I get it, but the same thing we said that killed The Walking Dead. It kind of hurts me on this. And I really enjoy that Andy isn't in the later Child's Play movies because it's moved on. You know what I mean? You need to move on. He's not a immortal character. You know what I mean? Chucky has other things to do. Let Ghostface go kill some other people. Let him something.
Chucky has other things.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? He's raising kids now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I got a family.
Yeah, he's got a support. You know what I mean? But I just, you know what I mean? I do get that it's tied to this neighborhood or this town or whatever. But I mean, come on, man. You can't tell me somebody else didn't watch Stab in another city and isn't going to try to do that there. Or, you know what I mean? Spread it out somewhere else. I'm getting a little claustrophobic staying in this box. You know what I mean? It's just the same thing over and over.
I understand what you're saying, but I feel like it has to revolve around Sidney. I think it all started there.
Unless you, I don't know, unless you kill her and make something else.
Please
See,
don't.
I'm the more that you talk, I know that there are a lot of people that agree with you, and I'm getting more and more nervous to go see 5.
Yeah,
I want to see 5.
Scared.
I only want to see 5 because I want to see if it ends. You know what I mean? I was like, please let this be over.
don't.
I'm just kidding. I mean, because they are. I'm not gonna say they're not bad movies. But like I said, they're to me, it's just like I'm watching the same thing over and over. And it's like, damn, man. It's like, come on, let's do something else. You know what I mean? It's like, get a little more creative. And then with him being clumsy all the time, why? If it's different killers, why is he still clumsy? You're different people.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, I put this Ghostface, yeah. I don't have balance. Yeah. It's like, you got to kill people wearing this, but you got to have skates. What the fuck? Never skated in my life.
It's part of the
Good
costume.
luck.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. None of us have.
Yeah. But within saying all that, I did have a ton of fun. And like I said, for Kirby, I gave a whole ass point. So for me, on a scale from 1 to 10 red herrings, I'm going to give Scream 4 a 6 out of 10.
Hey.
It was a 5 because I wanted to stay in the middle. But Kirby does such a good job.
She pushed it over.
She got her own whole ass point. Like, that's all because of her.
I'm here for
So,
it.
Yes. Thank you, Kirby.
Yes.
I feel like I've already kind of outlined what worked and what didn't work for me, so
Right.
I don't want to bore everybody with being like, well, let's go over it again. But I feel like when this film is successful, it's incredibly successful.
Right.
And that kind of excuses a lot of the fuck Bruce Willis moments, or a lot of the, I feel like Michael from Arrested Development, her? Like, Jill?
Yeah.
You know? Fuck. Could it be Kirby? Like, I would still love Kirby. Like,
Right.
Love
she's
conquers all.
Yeah, no, and she's a fantastic addition. I would be so thrilled to see her in 5.
Oh, yeah.
But I just, this film is a lot of fun, and they don't stop with the, these are the rules of a horror film, these are the rules of a sequel, these are the rules of a trilogy. I mean, it's still got the same vibe, and I just live for it. Like, I mean, this has been such a huge staple since, I know you and I were really small. I don't think you watched Scream like that.
No.
But we watched it a lot, and just being able to revisit that, there's something so nostalgic and so, I mean, just weirdly comforting in Scream for me.
Yeah.
It'll always be special.
Oh,
No,
absolutely.
yeah.
Again, if we go see 5 and it's trash, I'll be like, wow, that was a horrible movie. I can't wait until it comes out on Blu-ray. Like, I'm still going to support the shit out of it, because it just, there's something in me that it just speaks directly to.
Well, which you should, because you love it.
Yeah. So on a scale from 1 to 10 red herrings, I'm going to rank it the same as I did 2, because I feel like they're both really fucking great sequels, and neither of them are trash, because 3 is trash, but I still love it. So I'm going to give it 8.5 red herrings out of 10. And this has me so, like, ready for 5. I just can't wait.
No, me neither.
Scream forever. Scream 5 ever.
Scream 5 ever.
Can't wait for some nachos.
There you
That's
go.
what it'll be. We all have something to look forward to. Well, that's all from us at Pod Mortem. What would you rate Scream 4, and what should we watch next? Let us know on Twitter at the Pod Mortem. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook. Be sure to follow each of us on Twitter at TravisMWH, at Blood and Smoke, and at RealStreeter84. Please consider pledging to our Patreon and stay tuned until after the music for a special thank you to our Wendigo Getter patrons. And remember, if you want to survive a modern horror film, you have to follow the rules. Until next time. Thank you for staying tuned. We want to give a very special shout out to all of our Wendigo Getter patrons.
Woo!
Yeah.
You're the best around.
That's not even anything.
No.
And I sang with you. I don't know what I'm doing.
And then chastised me.
Yeah. How dare you, Nave?
And nothing's gonna end.
Create our duet. But special thank you to Chris Ontiveros, Kristen Lofton, Megan Martinez, Kimberly Bass, Melanie Van Houston, Sophie Hodson, Anthony Jerome M., Jordan Nash, Kent Morton, Guy54, Lala Thomas, Travis and Nisa Hunter, Miguel Myers ATX, Mandy, Jennifer Perez, Pierre Lombard, Allison O'Neill, Carissa, TJ Bronson, Gabrielle Trevino, Spooky Mom, Andy Teague, Applin Ontiveros, Karima Rhodes, Antonio Huerta, Kimberly Kleindienst, Will Brown, Linda, Sidney Smith, Osvaldo Soto, Jonathan Booth, Bobby Holmes, Donna Eason, JD Rizak, Molly Gerhardt, Armand Spasto, Aaron Aguirre, Eggy, William Barry, Brittany, Charity Oxner, Amanda Six, Mandy Rainwater, Garrett Rogers, Jordan Roberts, Danielle Peralta, Dylan, Melissa Sierra, Holly Bryan, Alex Schultz, Jordan Blevins, Michelle Moore, Liz Heath, and Spencer Montalvo. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We truly love all of you so much. It makes us want to scream for.
So creative.
I did my best. Until next time.